Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it. We just witnessed the final of the Euros. Spain have won convincingly, and we are here to react to it, plus talk about the other Chelsea stuff that happened over the course of the week. Welcome to Casually FC. Welcome to Casually Chelsea show, where you guys pretty much get your news chalked up in about an hour, 2 hour, 3 hour stream podcast thing, whatever you want to call it, sometimes. As I'm muting. Never 5 hours. But yeah, ladies and gents, be sure to like the video if you haven't done so already. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. We are only 200 away from that glorious 3K. So if you want to help us out in reaching that goal, please and thank you. It would help tremendously. Also, be sure to hit the bell notification so you're notified whenever we do go live. Check out the links in the description for more content. Leave a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts on everything we're going to be discussing today. And check out the memberships because there are 4 different tiers starting at 99p. Ladies and gents, overall reaction to the Euros. Here we go. Let's start off with this one. Yeah, I mean, I'll start it off real quick. I will admit I didn't watch much of the first half. I did watch it, but I think I got like the tail end of it and the very beginning of it. And then got to see the final half of it. And it was a little bit of a snooze fest. I think the second half was definitely better than the first one. And listen, it was a typical England performance, just reactionary. I think English fans can be thankful and grateful that they have a manager that can take them to the final stages of a tournament, but they definitely need one that's going to elevate the ceiling and definitely finish the job, because Southgate now is twice 2 Euro finals that he has gotten to and wasn't able to finish the job. So I don't think most of us were really convinced it was going to be England. But at the end of the day, I think Spain had the most convincing football throughout the whole entire tournament. Players stepping up like Lamine Yamal, Nico Williams. You got Fabian Ruiz, who had a fantastic tournament. You could say Rodri in contention for Ballon d'Or. Carvajal showing his experience. Cucurella being sound in that left back position. So on and so forth. Morata even stepping up to a certain extent. So it was just too strong of a Spain team. And as you saw in the game, if you did watch the game, Spain did persevere with enough persistence. But I think the result is fair, and now England have to reconsider who they're going to have as a manager going forward, if it's going to be Southgate. But I'll go ahead and I guess, Oliver, we'll start with you, man, because I'm sure you have so much to say. And yeah, your thoughts on the game, man.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with what you said about, like, in terms of the balance of the halves. The second half was definitely the better of the two. That's where all the goals were scored. And overall, just like you say, yeah, typical England game where it's just reactionary and just making substitutions based on like goals scored and certain events like that happening rather than being proactive. And Spain were just class today. I think a lot of people need to, and I hope people are making mention of this because I haven't checked yet, but the fact that, Rodri, the best DM in the world, had to go off at half time and Zubimendi went into his place and there was no difference, little to no difference. You got to give him credit for that. You got to give Spain credit for that. And yeah, I'll speak for myself for a minute though, because it seems like I forecasted this game perfectly. I said that Southgate was going to bottle the lineup and start Harry Kane. Stinker and hooked. 60 minutes. He was terrible today. And to be honest, I wouldn't care if he retired from the national team after this tournament. Disgraceful. Starting Luke Shaw.
I wouldn't call it disgraceful, but continue.
He's not been good enough. I don't care about the goals. Starting Luke Shaw, that was a risk, and in some moments it paid off. I think he definitely looked better than I thought he would, especially having not started a game since February. But then you can maybe look at him for the first goal. Maybe Yamal being allowed the space to take the touch inside. Maybe he could have been a bit better positionally there. So again, taking the risk of playing Shaw, who has no match sharpness, again, could be argued as a poor decision in the lineup. And then the substitutions. Palmer was a good one, but that's just Cole Palmer being individually brilliant. And big up to him for the goal. That was a fantastic goal. But then you take Kobe Mainoo off as the guy to go on the bench for Palmer, and then you're left with a one-man midfield effectively. So again, where's the logic behind that? And then we just can't get back into it. So I pretty much forecasted. I even predicted the 2-1 scoreline. If you go back to the previous show, I did predict the scoreline correctly. So yeah, Southgate out. That's all I got to say at this moment.
I mean, Chris, I think you agree for the most part with Oliver saying. I mean, do you have any discrepancies you want to point out?
I mean, Spain, I will say, like, and this is why I said Spain will win it from the start, because they play the best football, and most times the best football wins. If you like that, like, England barely had any chances until, like, what, 60, until Harry Kane came off. That's the only time I actually noticed England actually doing something, when Harry Kane got took off, because Harry Kane's movement is non-existent for England's type of play, where they try the through ball in the striker. So, and I saw before Harry Kane just got taken off, where Foden tried crossing into the middle, there was no striker to be seen. Harry Kane was off on the far left anyway. But yeah, I would say with Spain, Cucurella, I think best defender of the tournament. I don't think there's anyone can argue with that, unless one who's smiling right now who can argue it. But
well, he will. Shamelessly, he will.
And Carvajal, by the way, Carvajal's like 32 years old. He's not young, and he played in this tournament really well as well. Cucurella and Carvajal really good this tournament, I will say. The centre backs they've been okay, but I thought it was the fullbacks who carried that defence this tournament. And yeah, like you said, Rodri went off. I thought England might get a little chance in here, because Rodri, they lost Pedri like a couple weeks ago. So, they lost that midfielder presence of him, and now they lost Rodri. And like you said, I don't know who came on. Who was it who came on again?
Zubamendi.
Zubamendi, yeah. They didn't look any different from there. If anything, they looked more deadly creating chances when he came on. So, I don't know. But yeah, like Cucurella also getting that winning assist is just, to all the haters out there, don't think he's a good player at fullback anyway. You can cross it in enough. And his crosses are actually really good. Cucurella, like, he has those low-driven crosses are just elite. So yeah, Spain, they was the better team. Nah, they come on. The thing is with Cucurella, right? He's like one of the best like balanced fullbacks you gotta get. He can attack decent, and his defensive. It's tackling. See,
that's the thing. This is the thing. Hold on. This is the thing. Like, this is where like I'm all for like dunking on Ahmed and stuff, but I also want to be reasonable, because like listen, I think defensively Cucurella had a phenomenal tournament, but I don't think he was necessarily like pumping the right hand side or the left hand side with attacks and runs into the box, and like he wasn't like, yes, I agree, like he's a good balance, but you still want more from him from the attack. Like listen, I think it was good for Cucurella to do the link up play to lead up to that goal, but if it wasn't for Oyarzabal striking it the way he did, that's not a goal. That's just, another winger like if I was Nico Williams, he probably would have held it up, tried to dribble past, like who would have had to do more work. So that was more on Oyarzabal than it is like Cucurella. But good at Cucurella regardless. Like, I'm not trying to take anything away from him.
What I'm saying with Cucurella, I don't think he's obviously the best like going forward, but I think he's solid going forward. He has a decent cross on him.
Yes,
I think what Chris is trying to say, I think he's trying to say that Cucurella is capable of putting balls in and being creative. He just doesn't do it at a very high frequency.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm saying. And I want to shout out like Cole Palmer. You don't Southgate don't deserve you. You really don't. You didn't start one game this tournament, and every time you come on, it looks like you're trying to do something. You get a great assist, you get a great goal, but yeah, like today Chelsea won if anything. Cucurella got assist and won Spain the Euros, and like Cole Palmer's looked good for England, regardless of Southgate's tactics or whatever. So yeah, like I'm not bothered about England losing, because I don't like England when they're under Southgate, because I think he's had enough chances now. He's been there for 8 years, right? Southgate, 8 years at England?
Yes.
I think that's about right. And he's got to 2 finals, yes. And I always say, like, if you look at this tournament especially as well, he's had the easiest route. Like, you look at Spain's route, they had literally Germany and France, and even Georgia, obviously the easiest opponent out of the 3. But, like, Spain had the harder side by a mile, and England they struggled against fucking, was it Slovakia or Slovenia? I always get them two mixed. Slovenia.
Both
they
of them
struggled-
actually, right? Both.
Yeah, they had them in group stage as well, so I'm getting a little bit confused. And they struggled to both teams, by the way. But and then they had Switzerland. They struggled. Switzerland looked better, and the only team they looked better in this tournament was Netherlands. That's about it. So yeah, like England, you don't deserve it. Southgate, especially, you do not deserve it. And if they re-sign you, they're not serious. England ain't serious. They need to get a new manager in.
I mean, obviously, I'm going to save the Ahmed rebuttal for last because I'm sure Ahmed has many things to say, and we want to give him the time he needs to say it. But what I will say is, Curry Pirate, I mean, do you agree with the sentiment being said? Ahmed, we'll save you for last, Ahmed. We'll save you for last. I promise you, you'll have the floor.
That's for last.
You will get interrupted if you try to talk now. Curry, I'll let you get your chance right now to say your whatever you want to say on the topic of. I mean, I guess, do you think that you agree with Chris about Southgate? If he were to stay, it's England pretty much showing they're not serious. Although, if you look at it on paper, Southgate has gotten them to the Euro final twice now, which is a much bigger accomplishment than any previous manager in the last 2 decades, I want to say, for England. I could be wrong or a little inaccurate with that, but
Last
I mean,
20 years maybe,
overall, I guess your thoughts and analysis on this Curry Pirate.
Okay, so keeping Southgate is like having Arteta. Who cares about almost being there, cheering on the squad and whatever, coming in second place with Brendan Rodgers. Like he's your Brendan Rodgers, right? He's gotten you to a level. He's unified the squad, given them unity that they've never had for years. But it's time to move on to better and bigger things. Because some of these players should not be playing, starting. Harry Kane should not be starting this with England anymore. It should be Ollie Watkins at the very least. Putting in Jude Bellingham at the weird 10 position / left wing is the stupidest thing ever. If you're going to put Jude anywhere, you're going to put him in the 8th position with Kobe Manu for now, even though Manu's been doing great, and you put in Foden or Palmer in the middle. And you put in Gordon, you bring some pace around the squad, you bring in... But that's what Spain did, right? Like, Spain's known for tiki-taka, but what was their goal threats? Nico Williams, pace, and Yamal. Obviously technical player, but they brought in pace because they knew that's where the game is headed. You need to bring in different types of threats. And Southgate has scored it. Didn't play him for more than a minute this entire tournament.
Yeah, I forgot about Gordon actually. Yeah, he's a good player too. I didn't see him.
They only played him in the group stage.
Forgot about him. That was by design.
For 1 minute. For 1 minute. He played 1 minute and he played a through pass that was pretty decent for that 1 minute he was on. Ironically.
It's Southgate for you though. He just picks names like who's done it longer, and I think he doesn't actually go off his own system, which players suit his system best. He doesn't do any of that.
Or even agendas, because playing Trent for the first 2 games in the freaking playmaker CDM position or 8th position was so stupid. Play him as right back where he's best at. If you're gonna play 3 at the back, that's even fine. Then put in Gomez and. The funny thing is, you could put in Luke Shaw's healthy for the past 2 games. You could have tried Luke Shaw with part of the back 3 because he used to play center back, and you put in Trent instead of Walker, and you actually go attacking.
Oh yeah.
I just want to add, by the way, Walker's finished. Walker's finished, by the way. I just got to add that.
Yeah, both goals came from his side as well. Like he's not getting any younger, is he? So
both goals from his side. The Man City fans weren't even happy with his performances in the domestic and European competitions for City last season. He's not good enough anymore. He's just a pace merchant at this point.
So, question for the panel: did anyone on this panel actually think that Spain? Wait, no, I'm gonna lead this to you, Ahmed. Did anyone in this panel actually think that England were gonna win?
No.
Like I said, I predicted 2-1.
My winners my winners won today, man. My predicted ones.
No one predicted England to win. Fair enough.
No.
Ahmed.
All right,
Ahmed, your thoughts on the game and of course Cucurella.
I already said Spain was going to win this game. But I think the main reason I said that is because, and I think the panel will agree with me. I think barring 45 minutes, I feel like in general England have not played good. You've seen it, bro. Yeah. A lot of these they've not played well, and the reason why I predicted Spain was going to win was because the fact that eventually this was going to catch up to them. Their attack is not clicking. Like there were times again in this attack, similar stuff was happening in previous games where Saka would put in a cross, no Kane, Foden's not there either. No one's there in the box, right? So that's just an easy example, right? And I think the other thing for me is that, you know, if we're being honest, yeah, I had this argument on Never a Foul, yeah, as well, yeah, where they're like, yeah, should Kane be sacrificing his game because he's the best player in the whole team? I'm like, he should be doing. If you want your team to succeed, you should be willing to do the job of staying up top. That's only if we're being honest, by the way. If Kane had stayed up top, a lot of the stuff in attack would be solved, in my personal opinion. Maybe not so much the left wing stuff, but at least, you know, Saka and him could have at least built up that connection, in my personal opinion. I think
I don't know how many times have I seen Kane defending on the 8-yard line?
Exactly, bro. You know what I mean? That's the problem. And I think for me, the other issue you've got, yeah, and like we need to be honest about this, yeah. I've always felt this whole tournament that Bellingham is killing the team's chemistry in the sense that I don't think he works in the team. I'll be honest with you, bro. With the way you are playing, and if you want to play Foden or Bellingham, you have to choose one. You can only choose one between Foden and Bellingham, in my personal opinion, to play.
Would it be a bad take for, like, I personally think Foden, not Foden. I personally think Bellingham should start. I
personally,
it doesn't matter. You have to pick. That's not the point, though, Marshall.
Yeah.
The point is you got to pick one or the other.
Yes,
it doesn't matter who it is.
The reality is,
bro, it's a bad pick to be picking Bellingham, though. So
no, because the point I'm trying to make, Marshall, is that only one of them can play in that middle role. Because, like, as we've seen for England, Foden cannot work on that left wing. If we're being honest, yeah, and if we're being honest, Anthony Gordon, I don't think he's played a minute, if I'm not mistaken, for England. Yeah?
Yes,
he played a minute, literally.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. See, so even my point still stands. A minute for England. You know what I mean? Like, he should really be being the starting left winger for the team. If we're being honest.
Yeah,
right?
didn't have to actual left winger today.
Yeah, he should have been the actual starting left winger for us. Now, again, I feel like Foden's not had a great tournament. Bellingham's not had a great tournament. Yes, he scored those goals that got us into the quarterfinals, but he has not been good either. I think the other issue you've got as well, yeah, is that I think for me, Rice has been exposed this tournament for the lack of his technicality as well. If we're being honest here, his inability to be technical on the ball has been kind of exposed, because if you look at the midfields that he's faced, the vast majority of the midfielders he's faced are technical on the ball, can hold play, can pass forward. The problem with Rice is that the moment he gets the ball, he's not a good passer. That's the reason why a Partey has to play alongside him, or Jorginho has to play alongside of him, right? And whereas in this team, you don't have that, bro. Maybe you can be that's the reason why Kobe Mino has kind of been input into the team, because he can at least pass forward, right? But the thing for me is Rice has been kind of fun at that. He needs to improve that side of his game, yeah, and at least kind of become a bit more competent on the ball when he's holding it in midfield, rather than just passing it backwards. In my personal opinion too. That's because that's been a storyline for the whole tournament when it comes to Rice as well. I don't need to speak about. Go ahead. No, that's fine. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, how many of you guys actually believe that's Rice's style of play, or that's what he's being managed and told to do?
No, that's what I'm saying. His style of play.
Column A, bit of column B.
Yeah, I feel like he's because remember, Rice is not the most technical on the ball, but that's being exposed because all of the midfielders that he's facing, right, yeah, are technical on the ball and can dictate play. He can't. So he's literally he's in the middle of like a losing battle essentially in that, because the thing about Rice is, remember, his ball carrying ability in midfield is the thing that, you know, he's so good at. Like, I'm pretty sure all of us here have watched Rice multiple times.
And his defensive ability as well.
Yeah, his defensive ability and his ability to, when he gets the ball, he can move it forward. But the problem is, when you're in the Euros, when you're facing these bigger sides, yeah, and you don't have a guy that can pass the ball, and that's on you, he can't do that job, I'm afraid, at the end of the day. That's why, by the way, he should have been partnered, as Vic is saying, about Bellingham, right? Maybe even an Eze to an extent, if they did a 3, right, that would have worked. But for him,
Adam Wharton, maybe.
Yeah, even Adam Wharton, another one. Even Kobe Mino, he's been doing that job for him as well. That's the thing. And he's been, even defensively, yeah, he's not looked so great, even in this team. I don't understand why in Big 2024, we still have Kyle Walker playing for England. If we're being truly honest, boys, Kyle Walker should not be playing for England in Big 2024. In general, full stop. Like, I think for me, yeah, having Trent playing there, even though he's a defensive liability, made more sense. Yeah,
we'll have Reece James for hopefully. Well,
and again, he even had a fit Reece James that he could have played. Yeah. If he was willing to take a guy like Luke Shaw, he did not play the vast majority of the season. Why not take?
That's a very good point.
That's a very good point.
Why not just take Reece James? He's actually played a few games.
Talented.
Right, and he would actually, and again, he fits his modus operandi of being defensively solid too. right? Reece James as well, right? He fits the modus operandi. So again, that for me, that's another thing about it. Defensively, Gurhey, he looked a bit shaky in both the semi-final and this final. If we're being honest, John Stones, I've got to blame. I have to be honest. You got to blame Gurhey in my opinion as well for the second goal, only because he should have told John Stones man on. He should have said man on. Because if he didn't, because of the fact John Stones was not aware someone was behind him, but Gurhey knew that, or was it called? Oh yeah, there's a ball was behind him. There should have been better communication there to tell him man on, and he would have blocked that shot from going to. Was it called? Oh yeah, there's a ball from happening to. If we're being honest.
Can I just jump in, Ahmed? Though I need to take with the Gurhey thing. I need to take that back to Southgate again, because for so many years this guy was constantly playing Harry Maguire in this team when his form was on the floor at club level. And he didn't prepare a replacement. He didn't use any of the warm-up games or friendlies to prepare the replacement. And Gurhey basically came in cold.
Yeah, bro, I hear you, bro. That's exactly a fair point. And listen, at the end of the and I hear what you're saying, Vic. Yeah, but I think the issue is, Vic, though. Even though he was screaming at them, I feel like in that moment you still got to scream, bro. You got to do everything in your power to make sure they understand that, right? So at the end of the day, bro, Southgate has to go. Like whether you want to admit or not, he has to go. Like we agree with that sort of analogy. Like, and if we're being honest, hindsight is key in these things. Southgate has had a great easy run in the Euros. He had another easy run in the previous Euros. Even the World Cup, if we're being honest, the road that he had again was very easy. He's had the thing that's helped Southgate in his period for England has been the luck of the draw. He's had like how Chelsea, for example, is a good example. But for us, we went to like 3 or 4 consecutive finals in recent memory for the FA Cup because of the fact that we had the luck of the draw and we had easy fixtures all the way up to the semi-final or the final. For the vast majority of them, in that 4 consecutive finals we went to before we had that gap when we had to face Man City twice in the 4th round, if people remember. So again. So listen, that's what it comes down to, man. It's all well and good having a lovey-dovey environment, but as I've always said before, then with every story there needs to be a conclusion. If you cannot conclude that story correctly, it's time to move on, bro. Simple as that, man. And I'll speak on. Go ahead, Chris. What you saying?
No, like I was gonna say, the comment saying, what did Gary Neville say about Cucurella? Like
we need to bring that up, by the way. Yeah.
Like I will read it quote for quote right now. He said what he said about Cucurella is, I think Cucurella is one of the reasons I think Spain probably can't go all the way. ...
Nice. That aged well.
Yeah,
Gary needs to stop.
Aged
Gary
I just wanna.
These people get paid for their opinions, by the way.
Also,
like Adrian Rabiot need to learn to just
The guy said Gary is right. He's not right though. He got the assist in the final and he was solid like a rock.
We'll get to Cucurella. Like I don't know why we're rushing for Cucurella talk, but like listen.
Well, we're rushing because we're about 22 minutes into the show and we still haven't talked about Spain. So let's talk about Spain.
So I want to talk about Spain quickly. I think again they've been the most solid part. They played the best football. And you can see again, a lot of this has to do with like the way the academies work, innit? Like even the under 21, Spain under 20, under 17, like all of these youth level, they've all played pretty much the very similar styles of play, and this allows the whole team to gel in general, which many people do not realize. And look, credit to them, they were the best team in the tournament. And if we're being honest about Cucurella, and I will be honest about him, he had a good tournament. I will never deny that again. I just think again, he had a good assist again for the final thing, which could have been defended better in my personal opinion, as I said before. But again, he got his assist, played well. Again, credit to him. But listen, I'm waiting to see what he does at Chelsea Football Club.
He was solid for Chelsea when he came on for Pochettino. When Poch started using him, he was solid. And this is one thing about Cucurella. He's consistent. He's actually quite consistent as a player. He's never really having like a bad that many row of games. If he does have a bad game, then he just bounces back with another good few games anyway. Like I really rate Cucurella, and if Cucurella gets sold, I would really just I'd hate Todd Bowley for so much.
Okay, I need to go comment for this. Okay, for Cucurella especially right now, we're playing in a Maresca system where the left back inverts or one of the full back inverts. He has played his best football with Pochettino and in Brighton when he's inverting. He's also played his best for the most part, not when he's overlapping really for Spain, when he's inverting or he's just being a ball option. So if you're advocating for like a Bradley Loco or whatever it is, or whoever your left back is right now, the best option right now, clearly we can see that kind of works for the Prem, is Cucurella. We don't even know if Calafiori is going to work as an inverting or a center back option for example, for Arteta. We know Cucurella is first of all Prem proven. He used to invert a bit for Brighton. His best games for Pochettino were inverting. He's doing it again for Spain. He's a perfect left back we need for this Maresca system right now. He also plays center back, which also Maresca system wants anyways, if he's not the one inverting. He's the perfect person we need in the the left back position for our team right now.
Again,
Wait,
you know,
I mean-
again, I didn't say anything about Cucurella not doing well. I just said
I
I was
know.
going to see where he does at Chelsea.
Okay, hold
Yes,
on. That's
but
where
I'm
that's
saying-
where
I'm
I-
saying
that's
it's
where
Chelsea,
I-
but what
that's where I
what
have
is
to
wrong?
stop you.
What is wrong with me saying? What is
What
wrong
is
with me?
what
Let
is
me
wrong
finish,
with you
let me finish.
saying that is
Nothing wrong with me
that
saying
you
that.
have had 2 seasons to watch him and you're still saying
wrong
the
with me saying
same
that.
thing. 2
He's not
seasons
moved-
after
not
the end
moved
of
me.
after the end of next season, if he still does the same thing and plays decently, are you still gonna say I still have to wait to see how he improves? I don't know. Like
I
there's
admit
always
right
gonna be
now
a
in front of
caveat
me.
with you.
I admitted you
Most-
right
it's
now.
not like
most of
Theo
us-
Hernandez is
admitted-
amazing.
I
It's not like
admitted
Theo
right
Hernandez
now.
is amazing
I
or
already-
Alfonso Davies is amazing.
I
The left back
already-
position is playing average.
I already admitted that he had a good tournament. So if I can admit that, why would you not think I would not admit?
No, he wasn't a good. It was a great tournament
No.
because he was the
You
best
can say
defender
he's great or
overall.
not. I'm saying he's good. Good means great. Good and great are very much the
I'm
same
not-
time.
Good and great are very different
Yes,
because
they're
you
the
can have a
same
good
thing, bro.
player who's average,
not.
who's better than average. You can have a great player like
But
Neymar.
I said
Um,
I'm saying he's above average. I'm saying he's good. I don't know. I can't believe it. We're like arguing semantics about definitions. I don't
Yeah, I'm not here
think
to nitpick and hang on
yeah,
words.
exactly. He's had a
Well, no,
he's had
no,
a
I
good
don't even
tournament.
care. It's just
No, like, again,
for me.
I
I'm not
will
making that
repeat-
argument, right?
Yeah.
But
Listen,
for me,
again, I will see the season. Again, I'll repeat. We will see the season. I have the
But,
same.
like,
I have the same
this
combination
is-
of every single player.
This is where I feel like you are being agenda driven, because when it comes to Sterling, it didn't take you more than the last 2 seasons to come to the conclusion he is shit. And most of us will admit, you know what, he is pretty shit. I mean, he's still surviving the Ahmed agenda and he's still playing, at Chelsea. But you have no hesitation saying he's shit. Whereas when we're talking about Cucurella, who has had 2 seasons here, you can't even admit he's good for Chelsea. You could say he's had a good tournament,
Marshall,
just
if
like
you
last
look at-
season.
if you've
And
been
just
on
like
this
last
discussion-
Euros, I said Sterling had a good Euros. But
Marshall, again,
you're
Marshall,
quick to
again,
say
Marshall,
you're
again,
quick to
this
say
is
Sterling. But this
correct
is,
take
I
as
I want people to notice this. He's quick to say Sterling is shit. But
It's an incorrect
No,
take,
you.
because there's
It
been
is a
games-
correct take. All
No,
right,
it
explain
isn't,
it.
because there's people. Listen, there's been games where he's played well, and I've commented myself that he's played well in these games. So you can't call me and I did the merchant when I've actually said, I've come out and come forth said he's had good games. Like, let's
And
not.
then how
do
many
this, bro.
times have you said he needs to be sold? He needs to leave my club.
Yep.
Yes, I still maintain that he's not good enough level for me. When he has good games, he has good games. I will always
What?
respect that. So what? I can
Okay.
I can feel that he's not good enough for my team, but I can still comment when he has good games for the team and it's against certain opposition. I will comment on that.
How can you
That-
say
that
he's
is
not
a
good
valid
enough
take.
level? How can you say he's not good enough level
That's
for your
my
team?
opinion, bro.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
my-
yes, that's fair
So,
enough. You can,
you
but
can
your
disagree
opinion can
with
be
that, that's
wrong
fair
as well. At the same point, it's your opinion, but you can also be wrong with your opinions. Opinions are meant to be right and
That's
wrong
fair
at the
enough,
same
I
time
mean.
too. But like, what are you saying? Like, in terms of, sorry, name me better left backs. Honestly, Alfonso Davies, great attacking, shit defensively. You can say Theo Hernandez, better attacking, shit defensively. What do you want? Other left back? Robson's gone. You have Fulham's left back who has his first breakout season now, and has he done well internationally for the US? No, he hasn't. He's been okay like the rest of the US squad. If you name me other left, I'm saying Robinson for Fulham, right? He had his
I don't want
breakout season.
Robertson. So you
No, I'm naming you
He's just naming
top
you
level
options.
left backs
Oh, yeah.
in the world. That's what I'm naming you, right? Because, yeah, so like
At the
I'm
end of
saying,
the
I
day,
like the
again,
winger.
I don't understand what this comment is, bro. He's gonna be at the club next season. It doesn't even matter what my opinion is. I know
No.
he's gonna be in the season.
But the
but the
comment
comment
is
is
like you
the-
say
the-
he's not
the-
good enough
the
for your
general
club.
standard-
But wait,
but
hold
the
on,
general
Curry,
standard
all
of
right,
back is
Curry,
average.
Curry. Just give me 1 second.
Sorry.
Listen, I'm gonna let you answer this then, Ahmed. If you don't think Cucurella is good enough for Chelsea, who is?
I said before, I think Cucurella is not good enough for my club. That's correct. I think if I'm looking for someone to do the job to actually replace him, in my personal opinion, I would probably say in the Marshalldbdx system, a good guy to get. Okay, I would say Ake is a good example of that, in my personal
Fair
opinion.
enough.
Guy that can play. See, so listen, again. I would have said Tio
Okay,
Hernandez.
that's the only name you can get. Come on,
no,
give me more
Ake-
names.
What do you mean? Okay, again, Givardio is improved further on as the season's gone on in that position too. I would argue too, right? So there's two guys already. I can just give to you off the top of my head. This is without me even looking. I think for
I
me,
don't
the
even know
reality
if
is
Vardio can invert into midfield, but okay.
he can do that job for us, man. Eventually, he's
I
been
don't
doing it
think
under. He's
so.
been doing it under Guardiola. So
No, he hasn't.
He's been learning how to do it under Guardiola. He's been
He's
playing
been
left back for years.
bombing. He's been bombing in the left
He's been-
side of the pitch.
He's been doing a
He's
bit of
been
everything.
bombing
I'll be
wide.
honest.
It
been
hasn't really
doing-
been a DM though.
No, he's been literally been at times coming into midfield when he needed to.
Alright.
Again, listen, Marshall.
You
I
say
know my.
so.
Listen, at the end of the day,
Nah,
bro.
you don't always,
Listen,
but yeah.
Yes, listen. At the end of the day, bro, you know I already have an agenda against Cucurella. I don't know why
You
this
do.
argument has come up. Why this argument has come up? You guys know that already. But listen,
Cause listen,
at the end of
bro,
the day-
when you talk shit, you gotta come here and take it when you gotta take
take
it,
it,
bro.
dude.
That's what
Hey,
it
yo,
is.
dude.
So you're here taking it. So bend over, spread the cheeks, and take it, bro. That's what
Hey,
I'm saying.
yo,
You're gonna
that's
have an
crazy.
agenda.
Whoa.
You're gonna take the agenda, bro. I'm just saying. Am I wrong, chat? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Should he not take his L? Chat, let me know.
I took my L. But you guys are trying to still do other stuff. I took my L already.
Yeah, we're gonna
took
make
L
you
already.
take more L's. That's what I'm talking about.
And I was saying again, bring up my
Listen, it
private
wouldn't
chat
be a
comment.
casually. It wouldn't be a casually FC. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna bring that. up.
I'm just gonna put this post up.
Nah.
Yeah, I would have said Tio Hernandez, by the way, Vic, but Tio Hernandez does not work. in the
He's
system.
in the
As
wash
such-
now.
No, he doesn't work in the system. So as such, I can't use him. It'd be wrong with me to bring someone up. But listen, as I said before, I lost a major battle right now. You know what I mean? I'm currently in retreat. But listen,
The
war's not
battle.
over.
Yeah, he's
War's
going
not
with the
over.
war thing again. This
Remember,
has been a
rules are-
2-year war
Renato
now,
Vega
bro.
Nation. If Renato Vega clears your voice, your boy. oh,
Hey, you
that's
know
all.
what? I'm not opposed to Renato Vega playing more. You know, I really don't. I really am not. But hey, I mean, at the end of the day, it wouldn't be a Casually FC stream without some out of pocket comments, which is what I'm here for. So. That's what we do. But hey, listen, at the end of the day, we watched the game. We were all convinced Spain was going to do it, and Spain got the job done. So listen, the Spanish Iron Man came in there and he snapped his fingers and said, Thanos, fuck yourself. Because yeah, that's essentially the energy with this terrorist football that Southgate was coming in with. But listen, whoever replaced Southgate, English fans, England fans, you just gotta be patient. You need to be patient with the process, because chances are, here's the thing, the way I see it, maybe you guys can agree or disagree with me. The way I see it, I think Southgate's biggest flaw in this tournament and the last one was his conservatism. His cowardism to take a risk. There is no risk. There is no reward without a risk, right? What's the saying go? Like,
risk, no
fortune
reward.
fortune favors the bold, right? So that's, for me, it's like one of those,
Marshall.
like, this is a great lesson to that. What's up?
But Marshall, like, I think the saying you were actually using, it was no risk, no reward. Firstly, that's why it's actually called no risk, no reward. But the second point, yeah, is this, and I will say it again to you, bro. Yeah, you know what the issue is also Southgate. Southgate has played this style of play at every club he's been at. When he was at Middlesbrough, when he was playing for the under 21s, everything like that. So he's been doing that for a very, very long while, bro. So this is like his style of football, bro. So again, this is not surprising to me, bro. This has been his style of football for a very long time. This is not nothing new.
I mean, the thing is, though, like, if Argentina win the Copa America today, it's that not lovely looking football that won the tournament, right? Because they haven't been so
Colombia
impressive in
nation,
Copa
Colombia
America.
nation.
Yeah, I'm hoping
Colombia
Colombia win.
nation.
I don't
Same
think
thing.
Marshall,
same-
the
same thing
tournaments
to
are
an
not
extent
comparable,
goes to.
respectfully.
They're
No,
not
no,
even
no, but that's
comparable. Yeah, that's true. Actually.
okay. But at the same time, like, what I'm trying to tell you is that I'm watching Copa America and I'm watching Argentina play, and they're not convincing me. They're not playing beautiful football. They're not playing like the best Argentina, the best team in the world. They could have gotten that, but sometimes it's just the way they're set up and the way it is to get results. I know it's not comparable to Southgate. Southgate's doing something very specific, right? But we could even look at Deschamps. Didier Deschamps, if he had a striker or another Olivier Giroud, he probably gets away with playing the football he was playing the whole tournament too, and gets to the final with England. I wouldn't be surprised, because this is France nearly did it again in this tournament. So I think sometimes when it comes to tournament style football in these international games, like some of these managers just take that route of they play super defensively, yada yada. It's not entertaining football. But I think what I was trying to get at is that I think with Southgate, I don't think his strategy is necessarily wrong, but I think he needs to let me just land. I think he needs to be more proactive than reactive. Like you should have been bringing in Cole Palmer before you were down 1-0. You know what I'm saying? Or even starting Cole Palmer. Instead, he's reacting to everything.
There's two issues here. I think there's two issues there, right? I think I agree with the idea of him being more proactive is correct. I think the second issue is, I feel like the last two tournaments, if they show you anything, it's that conservatism in football, like being defensive, is not working. The teams that are being a bit more proactive on the ball, in possession, attacking the teams, right, with the who have the better quality, are winning. Look at France, for example. France is a good example because he's trying to follow the Deschamps blueprint, because Deschamps and England are very similar. Because if you look at France, right, but for all of their tournaments, their attacks have not gelled correctly. It's always been Mbappe and Trust, right? Always been right and everything like that. So I find that to be disagreeable on that point, right? It's the same with England. If you look at England, if we're being honest, realistically, right, maybe barring that Sterling and Kane connection, it's always been Kane or Hope, or like Sterling or Hope for the last two tournaments that he's had. So for me, personally, again, I think it's about being proactive, having a good play that can actually make sure all of your players work correctly, and being a bit more proactive when you're the better side. The problem is England's quality right now, if we're being honest, is very high. They should be as proactive as possible. And I think like the other two guys, I think would agree with me, to be honest. Because like I don't think conservatism, works all the time when it comes to like World Cup and like Euro football, bro. Yes, there's certain teams that have philosophies built on it, like in Italy. I'll give you a good example to kind of like credit your point, but that's like the style of play of the whole country, right? Whereas with England, it's not the same. With England, it's not necessarily
the thing is though, like let's look at these Euros in isolation, right? The top four teams, the only one that was really playing attacking style of football was Spain. Netherlands was very, very conservative. France was being very conservative.
Conservative, bro.
I would say so. They have not been impressive. It's been Gakpo or bust, like you said.
No, I feel like their midfield has been dictating play. They've been actually very heavily possession based, been playing through the ball quite well. They've actually not been quite defensive. They've scored like the most goals in the tournament, bro. I think their team is either them or Spain Germany or Spain are like in the top three, if I'm not mistaken, of goals scored in the tournament.
I don't know about that, but
I'm pretty.
Chris,
am I
what do you
lying
think about
on that one? I'm pretty sure. Like, let me double check as well. I'm pretty sure though.
While you're checking, Ahmed, I'd just like to. I do agree with you to a point, Ahmed, but I would like to also acknowledge the point that Marshall made, because yes, you got a team like Argentina who have made it. Despite the fact that I did say previously that the tournaments aren't one-to-one comparable in such a way that we're trying to do here, they have made the Copa America final, and that has to be acknowledged to some extent. I think what it is, if you're going to play that style of football, if you're going to play with this with this sort of like passive and defensive way, you need a good blend of three things, and that is like you need pace, you need quality, and you need mentality. The thing that like most of the teams that are playing this defensive football and they're getting far in the tournament, they've got pace. England don't have pace, and that's going to hurt you at some point. We're playing Foden out wide, who's not got that burst like a proper winger does. We've got Harry Kane who's dropping into DM and he can't get back up for the crosses. So that's one thing. The quality also has to be there, and I'm sorry, but the England players haven't had the quality. The France players, Mbappe has not had the quality in this tournament. His finishing hasn't been good enough. And then the mentality comes into it as well. Southgate has not instilled the mentality into the England squad, and like there are a few other examples for other teams as well, but the mentality just isn't there either. I think for Spain, it's been a perfect mix of those three qualities to get them to the trophy.
It doesn't even matter with Spain. It doesn't matter what players they have. Like all their players, like some of them are decent, some of them are solid. They're not like you look at England, they got obviously Jude Bellingham, you know, one of the best players in the world, apparently, I guess. Like, and for Real Madrid, did really well, of course. Harry Kane scored 40+ goals this season. You have Saka, apparently one of the best wingers. You got Phil Foden, one of the best players in the Premier League.
You have a lot of good quality.
Yeah, Declan Rice as well, another high-end midfielder.
And to be playing like conservative defensive football, it's just disappointing for fans. But what I'm trying to get at, Chris, is that like it's almost like these tournaments. If I had to name them, the only real like attacking minded or freestyle minded teams in the whole tournament were really Turkey. From what I saw, by the way, obviously I gotta put that caveat on there because I didn't watch all the games. Right. Turkey, Spain, Germany. Outside of those teams, I feel like everyone was playing some type of like score a goal, conserve. Like this is kind of what tournaments do almost. Like not Champions League, obviously. Champions League is a whole different animal. But these international tournaments, it's always a tactical chess game of like, okay, I'm going to score, but now I'm going to sit back and I'm going to try to score off a counterattack whenever I can. Which kind of goes to what Oliver was saying. Like, you can't really do that as a strategy to win tournaments without having that clinical player. And I would argue that in the beginning of the tournament, Southgate came out guns blazing and then he would sit back. So, I mean, I don't know if I can really blame him for the way he got himself to the final. I understand it's not entertaining. I understand it's ugly. And I understand that this team is capable of so much more. This team should arguably, in my opinion, be playing very similar style of play like the Spain team is. Attacking football. You have the attackers. You have the quality players. You know, I would argue you have better quality attackers than you have defenders to suit attacking style of play than a defensive style of play. But I feel like a lot of the criticisms on Southgate, despite the results, is because of the tactic he used to get as far as he could in this tournament. Now 2 tournaments in a row.
Right. So with the style of play, I totally hear that, and there's only one group or one organisation, one party that you can criticise for the style of play, and funnily enough, it isn't Gareth Southgate. It's the English FA.
Exactly.
First of all, the English FA hired Gareth Southgate, so they are culpable for whatever he does in some sense, and they haven't sacked him. So again, they're culpable. And B, I think what Ahmed said earlier about like the style of play and just a football culture of every player knowing how to come into the national team, and this is what we do. Where England, you've got players coming from all these different teams. You've got like a Mark Gurhey who for half a season was playing under Roy Hodgson, playing defensive football. You've got Carl Walker who plays for Man City, who are the most attacking team in the league. You know, it's just such a mixture, and they're not all being.
It also is Oliver though. Do you know what it is, Oliver though? The issue, I don't think it necessarily matters how they play for club football. I feel like a lot of these young guys are playing in under 18 Spain, under 17, 16, 15, 14. You know what I mean? Like the actual nation, right? Where they play a specific style of play on all levels, right?
They play possession football. The younger teams play possession football.
Exactly, and that's the issue, bro. Because like, what is when you come to England, when you come to play for England, what is our style of play? What is our style for all of these guys? Such that one day going through the levels, right? They may play a different style of football at club level, but when they play for us, this is how you play. You get what I'm saying to you guys.
And by the way, with Spain, like just as an example, because they are so committed to that synergy between all the levels and all the players. I'll give you a great example, and I doubt many of you will remember this player until I bring up his name. His name is David De Gea. He was regarded as one of the best goalkeepers in the world, and Spain would not pick him because he didn't fit their style of play. That's how committed they are to that synergy and a team play. It's a team sport, and they drop one of the best goalkeepers in the world for the team. We will just pick names. And we will not have players that are training as youngsters in the same way under the same principle.
Gotcha. I mean, I'll ask you. We'll go around the horn on this one, but Ahmed, I'll ask you this question, and we'll conclude and go on to the next topic, which is Chelsea related now. But do you guys think that a part of this England squad? Do you think it's almost going back to the old problem of the inner rivalry between clubs? Like how we have with Gerrard and Lampard. Do you think that's still within the club in any sense?
The issue right now England. It's not that because like they actually they
By
they
all
all seem
accounts,
to-
Southgate has fixed that.
Yes, Southgate actually fixed that. The issue they have here is I would say Southgate does not know how to. Southgate is addicted to picking names rather than actually picking the team that works. That's the actual issue. Pretty much, I would argue.
Well, it's
Well,
also
it's-
trust too, right?
But it's not really trust because, like, again, what
Because
has
why
Foden
would he pick
provided for you?
Maguire? You know, why would he pick
But,
Shaw?
like, the thing
Wait,
is,
yeah,
why
that's
did
down
I
to
pick
trust,
Watkinson?
no. But the thing is, like, I actually listen. You know, this is all at the hot take. I don't mind if you pick a Maguire, right? I don't necessarily even mind picking a Shaw for the left back because that makes sense. I can understand that. You know what I mean? But like, when it comes to now, you're in the midfield area. Is Gallagher necessarily going to be helping you there? No.
Yeah,
Harry
yeah.
Bino makes sense or Adam Morton in the attack. What has Foden done for you in a major tournament? Right? I understand Saka. Even like initially, if you started playing Kane, I would have understood. But again, those two understand. But the left wing should really be a guy that can work there for you, Anthony Gordon. Even
Yeah.
Bellingham to an extent. Yeah, Bellingham. I get he's played for him. He played really well, right, and everything like that. But what has he done to validate that spot as well for you?
I mean, to be fair to Bellingham, though, he has come in clutch situations.
No. But this is before the
And
tournament.
he's good
This
at
is
like
before the
creating
tournament, Marshall.
chances. Oh,
Marshall,
okay.
again, this is before the tournament. This is before our tournament, right? When I'm going in there and I'm starting the first 11, yeah. What is Foden's actually done more for me in that 10 role than you think he has, bro. Like that's what I'm
Yeah,
talking about. When I
'cause
say
in the World Cup, Bellingham played in the pivot.
exactly. So this is the issue I have, right? You know, again, it's about balance, synergy, and making your style of play work the best. That's all it is, man.
Right. Well, I mean, it's over, ladies and gents. England, it's not coming home. Sorry to tell you, it's not.
Right, man. We're joining
it's
Peru
not-
in the USA, man. Joining
not
Peru in
coming
the
home.
USA, man. Joining Peru in the USA to say it's not coming home as well.
Not coming home.
I mean,
Hey,
I don't think the US guys, unless they are that deluded.
we never
they're
say
going-
it's coming home because football was not invented in the United
The
States.
little cheeky dab at
Just like,
Marshall, bro.
just
Guys,
like,
you're not taking
just like
us.
soccer wasn't a word invented by the Americans. It was invented by our fellow Englishmen that like to make fun of us now for saying the word that they made. So hey,
Yeah, I know. That's why I don't cuss you out for saying
Yeah.
soccer.
exactly. Yeah,
He doesn't really
big
say
up,
much
big
anyway.
up. I don't. I try not to. It slips from time to time, but it's okay. But yeah, okay. I mean, guys, are you ready to talk about Chelsea?
No.
Something a little bit, maybe a little more
Absolutely.
entertaining than this.
I'm gonna have to end up
Entertaining.
quickly. I'm gonna
That's
have to end
fine.
up quickly.
You do your thing.
But-
You got your food
but-
or
But
whatever.
Chelsea needs a dip.
No. I've been invited elsewhere, so that's why I'm here for you for the
Okay.
first hour.
Well, we,
so I
will,
want to actually.
we will be here.
First hour.
Yeah.
I want
47.
to. Well, we're still a lot more time left. There's nothing that started there. I was gonna say, there is a topic I wanted to talk to you about quickly before I go, if you don't mind.
What topic?
Doué, actually, because you know me, like that's I'm the expert. in that. Unless you want to talk, unless you want to save it for later, I'm pretty sure my thing will end before then, so I'll come back anyway.
Okay, I'll save it for later because I got a few topics to hit. That's
Lovely,
like
lovely.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
10?
6, 7, 8, 9. It's the 9th topic on my list.
Lovely, lovely.
But
I'll
maybe
be there
we'll be
now.
back in time for it. But there's some big ones we got to talk about before Desiree Doué, anyways. So
Awesome.
I'll rearrange. I'll make it happen. All right, but Ahmed, we'll see you maybe in an hour.
I'm not
Are you
done
leaving
yet.
now?
I'm just
Oh, okay, never mind. Wow. Okay, I thought you were leaving now. The way you were talking, bro.
next 10 minutes. Just 6 minutes. It's fine. I was given a 10-minute
All right.
warning. You know what I mean?
Okay, fair enough. All right. Anyways, Blue Coat controlling the women's team. So, this just happened the other day, right? So let's discuss
2 days
this.
ago, if I'm
So,
not mistaken, no?
yeah, something like that. Here we go. Let's share the screen with you guys to see. Chelsea has transferred control of its women's team to Blueco, the holding company used by Clear Lake Consortium to buy the Premier League club in 2022, in a move that could help meet the Premier League's PSR rules. So I guess the women's team had some PSR rule issues as well that they need to meet, and I didn't realize that was a thing.
No, I think
No,
it's
this
the
is
PSR.
this is the men's team because it's the Premier
Men's.
League.
Yeah.
The women don't have the Premier League. The women
Yeah.
have the Super League. The Women's Super.
Exactly. No, and they don't even have PSR on Women's Super League, by the way. They can just buy as much as they want. Because, like,
I mean, I
don't know
can't
if
lie.
you've
There's
seen-
not a lot of money
Oh
in that league
shit!
anymore.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's
Wow.
why, like, they're spending like 2 million over there. Like that's the best players getting some for 2 to 3
I swear,
million.
2 million was a transfer rate.
Yeah, literally,
Recently.
the best players are getting sold for 2 to 3 million, bro. Literally. So, you know, there's guys getting bought for 300, 500k a week. Because obviously the game's not as big. in the women's league compared to here.
Yeah, obviously.
The PSR bit of this, the reason why they're doing that is because it generates revenue for the actual Chelsea FC, by the way. That's what it does.
Okay. So does Chelsea FC also encapsulate the women's team in terms of revenue? So the revenue is...
because they're not separate.
That's crazy.
For
I
example,
thought they were separated.
Because when you buy Manchester United, for example,
That's true.
you're not buying,
Okay, yeah, I
buy
see what you're
Manchester
saying.
United, the men's team, and the women's team. It's not like Olympique Lyon. So Olympique Lyon, by the way, fun fact, if you buy Olympique Lyon, you're only buying the men's team. Olympique Lyon women is a separate entity, by the way, that the club themselves sold off to be bought by another company, by the way. Fun fact.
But I guess you guys know the whole loophole thing we're doing with this. I mean, I don't know if you guys are in favor or against. I mean, you can if you want, but and then you have to give me your thoughts on this. Is this good? Is it bad? Is it horrible? Is it? I mean, do you
This
care
stuff
at all?
is again, they're just trying to make the women's team, I think, a separate entity, not connected to Chelsea. So it's going to be Blue Coat, as you know, they own Strasbourg, they own Chelsea. That's like the group that brought us, by the way. That's what they call the Blue Coat. Right? So they brought Strasbourg, they brought us Chelsea. But what they've done now is they separated Chelsea FC as just the men's brand completely, and then it's Chelsea Women's Football Club as a separate entity. So now you've got 3 entities now, essentially. Does that make sense? So again, it's not ideal, maybe I would say. Again, at the end of the day, I've said this to you before. Hopefully, this is only a short-term thing where you're just doing this for PSR reasons, right? Short-term thing. Hopefully, when you get back to UCL, maybe when the stadium's getting rebuilt and you start making revenue on that, you don't need to be doing this selling off stadiums and stuff. Obviously, you know what I'm saying to you guys? Like ideally, this should be ideally it should be a short-term thing.
I would say so, because like you said, I don't think it's going to be sustainable. I wouldn't be surprised if in a short term, like in the next year or two, we'll actually start hearing some revisions to the PSR rules that don't no longer allow for profit within the club selling it to itself or a subsidiary of sorts to count towards PSR. So this is a loophole that obviously, we are taking advantage of, but it's not something that we're going to be able to continuously do. I think that's where, and I think you would agree, and Chris and everyone else, this is where having Champions League football is going to be a big part of the club going forward, and it's going to be necessary in order to us to continue sustaining the profits. I would say also, I think the model that we have right now of buying and flipping players, buying the next rising stars, so increasing our market value internationally, I think that's also a good strategy, but that's a long-term strategy versus something short-term like making Champions League could help boost our finances a lot. Also, the sponsorship thing, which, I mean, I don't know who wants to even go into that, but I mean, I don't have a topic on the sponsorship, but I mean, Oliver, Chris, do you guys care at all about this whole Chelsea selling to itself again?
I mean, I thought I as far as I was aware, we were already clear with PSR. So, sport business, I've never heard of them, so I'd take the reliability with a grain of salt personally, unless anyone has anything they'd like to tell me that suggests otherwise. But the thing with the women's team, we'd already been hearing stuff about them becoming independent before, but it wasn't linked to PSR at all. It was just like a furtherment of the women's team. And we actually heard, and I can't remember if we reported this on a show or not, but they have secured 3 Mobile, the sponsor we used to have, as their sponsor. So they have a...
Fuck 3. We did talk about it last show, but yeah.
So they now have a separate sponsor from the men's team. And that was, at the time, that was being hailed as, it's a good thing for the women's game. They're moving forward. They're being able to be independent. So I don't know where this PSR thing has come from, because like I said, we seem to be clear of PSR to begin with. So I take it with a pinch of salt personally, but if you want to take it seriously, then that's totally up to you, as far as I'm concerned.
I mean, we got
fun fact, by the way. Fun fact. You know the guy that's the last comment, by the way. His name's actually Rico. That's how you say his name. So from now on, if you ever see this guy in chat, his actual name is Rico. Last comment.
Rico, like Rico Lewis.
No, this last guy, the one that's in it's called Rico apparently. I didn't know until recently.
Strange behavior from that account. But all right, cool. I mean, that's pretty much the PSR stuff. Let's actually get to something a little bit more juicy, which is, listen, I'm gonna take this with a pinch of salt, right? It is coming from the Athletic. I know Athletic is reliable, but
How
we
can you say
also know
pinch us
that-
up for Athletic, bro? That's
No,
I've never heard them get
I,
a story wrong.
I say that because not that I don't believe the story, but because we know that to an extent, David Ornstein and the Athletic, it is media that Chelsea do pay for. You know what I mean? Like they do push out news that Chelsea put out there. You know what I'm
All right,
saying?
fair enough. Fair enough.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying like don't believe it, but also I don't feel like this is the whole story. And we're gonna talk about why Vivell left Chelsea. So they came out with a little short tweet here that I thought was interesting, and you guys can tell me what you think. So we have here the tweet. Oh shit! Sorry, I clicked the wrong thing. Boom. All right, cool.
I just say quickly
reason-
before we continue, Marshall. Just
Talk to
quickly,
me.
To all my black brothers, you know what I mean, that went to the pub and forgot to realize,
Oh,
you know, it's dangerous times around there. If England lose,
Oh,
That's
get
on
home,
you,
guys.
bro.
I saw an outrageous video earlier.
you know what that is, by the way. But that's in Shepherd's Bush. That's at White City. I knew that place. It's like, where is that place? I swear I know what that is. Yeah, it's literally in White City. That's good.
So, according to The Athletic, reasons that Vivell left Chelsea, change in structure resulted in him being pushed into a different role. With the reshuffle and appointments of Lawrence Stewart and Paul Winstanley, his influence had waned, and his role proved substantially different from the one he was pitched for when hired. I'm sure all of this is true, right? But I feel like when I hear this, the questions that I ask now is like, okay, with the reshuffle, the appointments, Lawrence Stewart and Paul Winstanley, his influence had waned. Why did Egbali or Bowley or whoever was in charge opt to go more towards Winstanley and Lawrence Stewart and not Vivell for that position? You know what I'm saying? So that's where my questions come in. Like, why did they choose them and not Vivell? And I'm sure, I think a lot of this reshuffle happened when, you know, Bowley decided he's not going to be the sporting director anymore. He's going to give it to these guys. I thought the plan was always to make Vivell the sporting director. So when we had all the pieces together, Vivell would be the one leading the front with sporting director, and then everyone else would kind of follow suit with Stanley and Lawrence Stewart. That's how I remember it, at least.
I think
No,
this.
I thought
like,
it was to do with the. I think Oliver. I will let Oliver go quickly. But I thought Vivell was to do with the multi-club model. I thought the reason he brought in was to help with the multi.
that's what I assumed at the time.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's the reason they were looking for the RB Leipzig director. Because they were like literally saying, we're the guy that's going to be the head of our scouting, our multi-club model department. Not necessarily. That's why, like, you know, Sam Jewell's come in now, by the way. Sam Jewell's come in to do like almost a slightly similar role to what he's doing.
But that's the part that kind of like makes me like question how much truth is being told to us here. Because like, if your role, because I'm assuming that role of Sam Jewell is a bigger role than Winstanley and Lawrence Stewart. Like, I would assume that
No, it's not, because his role is just to create the structure. Those other two guys are being the actual sporting directors, and they're bringing in the players, the scouts are coming to them to do everything like that. That's what they're here to do.
But that's what I mean, though. Like, Sam Jewell's position, the way I understand it, is that he is in charge of making sure that our multi-club model, each club is run well and structured well. So that means that for, let's just say for Sporting, right? If we were to acquire Sporting, Sam Jewell's position is now, I need to acquire another Winstanley or Lawrence Stewart for this club so we can get a scouting model, so on and so forth. Maybe I'm misunderstanding it wrong.
No. He's just there to, first of all, find the club. He's there, the multi-club models, to get the clubs, to make sure that everything's in order. He doesn't need to actually appoint stuff. That'll be, he will basically get Egbali and himself to appoint together, I would assume. He's there in terms of the players, bro. Like how the players they're scouting, the players they're bringing in, how we move players around. That's what I thought he was there for, no? Because the director stuff does not necessarily matter, because the director's going to listen to whatever Sam Jewell says anyway. So he doesn't need to actually, bring in guys for that position.
That's the part that makes this stuff confusing. Because, yeah,
I
go
will
ahead.
say-
I've
I will
got to head
say
out
though,
there, Marshall.
Yeah, have a go on, Ahmed. We'll see you in a bit.
See you, Ahmed. I think the problem, Marshall, you're trying to look for an explanation for this that makes sense. And that might not actually exist, because, as I'm
Maybe.
sure you're aware, and as I'm sure all the viewers are aware, like we were we were a chaotic place to be in the first year of the Clear coach.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
No, we were hiring mentality coaches. We were hiring and firing Graham Potter. You know, we didn't even come in with a sporting director. We sacked Tuchel after buying him Aubameyang for no reason. You know, we just weren't making a lot of decisions that made sense. And maybe hiring Christopher Vivell was one of them, and maybe they just changed their mind. Maybe that's just all it is. Because, yeah, hiring him in the first place, if you're going to have Winstanley and Stewart, 3 sporting directors, that makes 0 sense. Unless it's like what Ahmed was saying, where he would be overseeing the multi-club stuff. But by that point, we hadn't even acquired Strasbourg yet. So it made 0 sense to even have him around. He's effectively doing nothing.
Yeah, no, I get that. I get that 100%, which is why maybe you're right. Maybe I'm looking too into this than it needs to be. Maybe it could be just as simple as like, hey, listen, we bought you in, and now after consideration and now seeing how this is all working out, it turns out you're a little surplus for requirements. We'll give you a gardening leave and a compensation package or whatever the fuck, you know. This is how these corporate, guys work.
And I'll be real as well. From the work that he did do, as far as I'm aware, I wasn't particularly impressed. Like, I wasn't seeing any revolutionary ideas coming to the table. All I saw from what I believe from the reports was that he wanted to sign João Felix on a permanent for 85 million or whatever the asking price Atletico Madrid were trying to push to us, and that he was basically he wanted Nagelsmann, which is just, I don't know if that's just lazy reporting, but I'm going to assume that it's not. That's just like, it doesn't take a genius to say, oh, you're the sporting director from Red Bull and you want the Red Bull manager. Same with us being linked to Dominic Szoboszlai. Like, anyone can make that link. So, like, I just didn't notice a lot from him that was really, like, jumping off the page and saying to the club and to the fans that, yeah, you're the guy to take us forward. Whereas I've seen Winstanley and Stewart actually scout some good players and get some good fees selling players. I haven't seen that from Christopher Vivell in his current, in the work that he did as whatever he was at Chelsea. And that's just me. I don't know about it, but yeah.
Chris, do you have any thoughts on this?
On Vivell, like, but I forgot when he left Chelsea, but like you said, like, Nagelsmann,
I think it was in the summer.
And the thing is, Nagelsmann, I don't know if Nagelsmann would have done a whole lot differently. Yeah, he might have been better than Poch, but like, Nagelsmann just didn't want to come to Chelsea. He didn't want to go to Tottenham. Maybe he didn't want to go to club football because he went to international, didn't he? So if he cried about that, like, oh, Chelsea failed at that, this, that, the other, like, just, I don't know, get a grip at that point. But I'm not really bothered because he's just, backroom, like, noise. Like, we can get a new director of football, of course. Like, have we got a new one yet? I feel like we have.
Well, presumably that's what Sam Jewell is.
Yeah. So, like, he's gone to United and he wants Chilwell apparently. So, hey, you're doing wonders for us anyway. Like, if you take Chilwell of us, I always rate you. But
I don't know if people have thought about that yet, man. But I don't know if people have thought about that yet. But the timeline with the Chilwell stuff is scary. It's actually scary how he joins the club and now apparently they're linked to Ben Chilwell. That is scary.
Hey,
and the fact that Chilwell got his contract extension when Vivell was at the club. That is scary. Like, if that's true, then
I don't
my
know what
God.
Is it PR?
Interesting.
What does Chilwell offer to Chelsea on the field right now?
I don't know. I mean,
is it just PR for, like, because he's English and he's like, I don't know.
All I know is that he was kicking rocks while Cucurella was winning Euros. So that's all I know.
Yeah.
There you go. I mean, we'll get to talk on Chilwell, I'm sure, today. But let's continue on to the next topic I wanted to bring up, which is an exciting one. Felipe Coelho is now the new U21 coach. For those of you who do not know, Felipe Coelho has been a coach / manager, whatever you want to call him, for Benfica since 2018. We're talking the youth level, U15, U17, U19, the whole entire system that has produced many talents like, the likes of Cancelo, Ruben Dias, fucking João Felix, so on and so forth. We can go on and on. I think, well, actually, I'm not even going to try to throw names out there because I really don't know.
I think that's roughly correct.
There's definitely more. There's definitely a lot more. I just can't, off the top of my head, think who they are right now.
I mean, I guess we've got one of them, Diego Moreira.
Yeah, that's true. And I think even Renato Vega, to a certain extent, came from Benfica. I don't know. I got to do my research on that one. But
I'd need to research that too. Yeah.
Even overall, though, like we got a new U21 coach. I think the fact that he came from Benfica's academy is a very bright sign that we're going to go more towards like a more technical style of play. We're trying to mold our players to be more technically gifted. I said that weird. But yeah, and it might be possible that we still go out and get a club in Portugal, in Liga NOS, or even a division underneath, and work it up. We need another, if we're going to do a multi-club model, we were rumored with another club in that, in that division. So, I mean, any thoughts on this guy? Guys?
I will say, I just hope he just guides our youth players, because we're buying a lot of youth academy players, like, around the world to come to our youth, of course, and not all going to be our main, in our main team. So hopefully he can just guide them to the right direction for the future and stuff like that. Like
do you think a manager
stuff that could be good?
Mm-hmm. Do you think a coach like him who's come from Benfica, do you think that's promising to you?
He's assistant manager, right?
No, he was a coach.
Oh,
he's under 19s and stuff.
Oh, under 19s.
He's a youth coach.
I mean, they had some good talents come out from there, so yeah, like that's it. It does sound like a good, purchase from Chelsea to do to the youth. Like, probably it will be. We won't be really watching the youth though. I'll be real there because we're not kid watchers, but yeah, like I hope he guides them in the right way.
What?
Yeah, hopefully he guides the players, like the young players, to the right, like right direction.
Yeah, I hope so too, man. I hope it works out.
I know we won't be watching the youth football, but I know there are people that will be. So I'll address them now because I'm naturally with the way these guys are so reactionary and so negative, they put in their spin on things. They're trying to say this is the death of Cobham. I mean, I'm sorry if this was the death of Cobham, then we wouldn't even be investing as much attention into this right now. We're literally trying to align Cobham with the first team so that players can come from Cobham to the first team and not look out of place like a Conor Gallagher.
Exactly. That's the thing too. Like, I feel like
by the way, just before you go, Marshall, if anyone wants a good explanation of this, I think Scott explained it perfectly in the last show. So go and give that a watch. He explains it pretty much to a T, how this is a good thing.
Here's the thing. The way I see it is that, like, I look at the products coming out of Man City, like Foden, like Palmer, even to a certain extent, like Oscar Bob or Rico Lewis and so on and so forth. I look at their technicality and their ability and what they're able to do. And they can provide a lot more for a team than someone like, for example, a Mason Mount or a Gallagher who has come out of our academy. So for me, like, no fault, or I'm not trying to talk shit on like Cobham, Neil Bath, and whoever was running the coaching at youth level, but like it seems like we were producing players that were just running merchants, like they just able to run and give their all, which that should kind of be instilled in a player from the get-go. Like, these guys are athletes and they're young athletes, and they made it to this level of the game by not giving up and trying to chase their dreams. And like, I feel like that should come as a given, whereas like at Cobham, as of recent years, it kind of feels like that's the type of player that we produce those machines, those work engines that never want to give up. And it's like, that's not really impressive. I'm looking at what Man City's producing with their players, and it's like, yo, Phil Foden's talented. He can go into any team and suit that team just well and do a job.
But the thing is, though, what you said about Neil Bath and that we can't disrespect him, that's totally correct, because Neil Bath built Cobham as a system to serve a completely different set of rules that FIFA had about loans. We had these kids on loan. They weren't made for the first team. We were making money off those loans, but we can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
So
that is true.
Those rules have changed, whilst Cobham hasn't. It's just simply outdated. That's not his fault.
That's true.
Those changes take time, and we're currently putting the time and effort in to make those changes.
Yeah. But my point being is that, like, now with this kind of a man and this kind of coach coming into the U21s and the structure being changed up completely, right? I'm hoping that Chelsea can start producing young talents that are like Phil Foden-esque, are Kobe Mainu-esque, like Jadon Sancho type of players, technical.
I mean, if we want to be topical, Lamine
Yamal even, like, brilliant players that, like, have technicality and all this and that. Like, I'm sorry, like, JC, you named these players. Not everyone's like that, but Reece is good. Chris, don't get triggered when I say this.
Anomaly.
Wait.
Reece is a good player, okay? However, is Reece, like, super technically gifted? Is he gonna nutmeg? Is he gonna nutmeg and do wing play against other players? Is he gonna?
I don't think that's what technical is, though. I wouldn't.
That's what I mean. Like more flashy, more players that are more confident and have an ability to, like, just be like, dude, I can't fucking mark this guy. You know what I mean? I just feel like
it is like
physical and pace merchants.
Hang on a sec, Chris. Marshall, I think you're confusing technicality with flair. I think the two are different.
I think it's a little bit of everything, though.
Reece James has a good first touch. He can pass the ball.
Yeah.
He's got a good chest on him. But
I think that is a technical player. You know, just being secure on the ball, good touch, good pass, all that sort of stuff.
Like you said, the good passing, by the way. You've seen this guy, even last season, where he only played like 10 games, where he pinged that ball to Sterling against Tottenham from his own half. That is a hell of a ball. If that's Kevin De Bruyne, they'd be talking how good his passing is. Like, Reece James's passing is really good.
But see, like, I think... Okay, maybe this is a better way to put it. I feel like Cobham recently has produced great players that can do the simple things great.
It's not simple, though.
Well, no, I'm not saying what Reece is doing is simple. I feel like kind of Reece is kind of an anomaly in that sense.
Okay,
but, you know, I could say that. But, like, I feel like even if we look at Reece's play, like, he doesn't strike me like as a Trent, for example. Like a Trent, not that I want a Trent, by the way. I'm not trying to say that.
I know.
I'm just saying, like,
we did that.
A Trent that, like, he can ping a pass from everywhere, a playmaker. Like, I think for me, Reece James always strikes me as overall, he's a fantastic player and a right back that can defend well and attack well. But he doesn't strike me as like a playmaker or someone who can just dominate a game by himself. I don't think Reece has ever been that kind of person. Whereas Bukayo Saka does strike me as a player that can dominate a game by himself. Phil Foden, he can carry that team at Man City by himself at the biggest level. You know, and maybe it's the position that Reece James plays. I'll give you that too.
Hang on, Chris. What I think that's just the body that Reece James was born into.
That's also part of it too.
He's a very physical player, just like in nature. You know, you look at his body.
But, like,
that's
before you
the
continue, Oliver, like, this also goes for, like, a Rice, for example, or a Gueye. Gueye, for example, I think because he's a Cobham, you know, product, he is a physical, like, player. I think we produce a lot of physical players that can run a lot. At least lately in Cobham, that's what it feels like. And although Elise, that's a little bit different. I don't know when Elise left the academy, if he grew out of whatever coaching was given to him there or whatever. Tomori, I don't think Tomori's done very much to impress me. Rice is a very boring and bland player. Again, like, he doesn't strike me as anyone that can carry a team by himself. I don't know if maybe I'm not enunciating this or expressing this properly, but I just don't feel like there's been exciting players that have come out of Cobham, whereas you see other academies, there are exciting players that are coming out of there. I feel like our players are good at doing the simple things, minus Reece, and I guess maybe Elise. Time will tell. Elise.
I think with examples like Elise, and even you look at Musiala, that's just the unfortunate circumstance of those guys leaving too early.
We've not had like a sign attackers, I agree, but Reece James, let me take it back to the way you said Reece James and Trent, by the way. What can't Reece James, what Trent can't do? His crossing is, okay, Trent's crossing might be a little bit better, but it's not exactly like Reece James' crossing is like nowhere near his level. Reece James' crossing is very good, and we've even seen it this season where he's crossed it and like saved us in games as well, like where he just like pings it to the head, and Reece James is a guy who can ping it from his own half and then go all the way into like an attacking threat. Like Reece James' passing is like one of the best passing.
I don't disagree with that, and also JC, like Musiala is a good example of this. But that's really it. I mean, talking lately, like our Cobham products haven't been that great outside of like Musiala and Elise. Cho stinks. RLC, people didn't rate him. But like going to what you were saying, Chris, like I get that. I unfortunately don't have very much of a pool to say that, yeah, Reece can do that because he gets injured all the time.
I think it's been a long time.
Yeah, but the injuries aren't Cobham's fault. That's not how.
No. I'm not saying it's Cobham's fault. It's just like
2 years.
It's hard for me to actually say like Reece can, do all this and that and do it consistently. Just like
I hear the injury
Trent.
thing, but
I know. I rate him more than Trent. I just want to make that obvious, right?
I know you.
I rate Reece more than Trent, and I think Reece is a great player, but. Again, as being a product that has been bred and molded by Cobham, I think that his style of play is geared towards a more physical style of play, a more running style of play, rather than one of more technicality, more flair, more playmaking. You know what I'm trying to get at?
I think he's balance of all. Like this is why I love Reece James. I think he has a balance of.
I don't think so.
I really do. I think going forward, he's.
God, I hope he stays fit, man. Marshall, you need to remember this guy.
Because like
no,
Marshall,
I know he's great. I know he's great.
You can't say he's not good at going forward. He's fantastic going forward.
I never said that. But
that's why I'm saying he's balanced at all things. Like he's great technical ability and like defensively he's very solid as well. Of course, like it's just like the one thing what holds Reece James back, and we all know it, is the injuries. Because like the last 2 seasons he's been away, and even this season we've seen, I've seen anyway, like the 10 games he's played. What was the game where we won 3-2 or something where he did that amazing? Forest, yeah, and then obviously that Tottenham game he did really well. There's only like one bad game he played this season. Well, actually the last game as well. The Newcastle game and the last game.
Remind me.
What was the last game he played? I forgot. Brighton, yeah, he played in that game. Yeah, he got sent off. So
I mean, Curry, I'm sure you have something to say, which is why you joined back.
He's probably mad.
Yeah, no, how like things going on, so I'm gonna be off and on. But like, it's been changing for the past couple of years for us, right? Like Colwell is a pretty technical center back. He can pass well. He's decent on the dribble. At least that's what he was in Brighton. That's what he's been rated so far. An interesting one actually that I didn't know until this year, I'll be honest, is Bolka, who's the goalkeeper for Nice. He's a ball-playing goalkeeper who's been with us since under 18s. Like he did under 18s, under 23.
He used to be, he's a Copa product.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
And he's actually perfect for Maresca's system, and he's really good with saving and everything with that. Like he's pretty much perfect for us, and he's only 24. That's the weird thing. Like he's a ball-playing goalkeeper he was arguably the best goalkeeper in France this year in League. So it's like, and that's from a Cobham product, and you could say he's a technical goalkeeper because he's good with his feet. So like, I think things have been changing around the past couple of years. Like the whole, thing we had last stream with that Rio kid. Like the whole thing is that he's supposed to be a very technical, compared to Musiala-like player, right? That's the thing. It's like we have been turning it around the past few years, I would say. Things have been slowly turning around.
Maybe
because we lost Musiala in 2021. Right? Colwell came through in this class around 2022. We have Rio, we have all these technical players coming in now. I think post 2019 is when these technical players have been bleeding.
I feel like in the way that Cobham molds its players, right? It almost suits like a center backs. It almost suits like a youth academy that produces top tier center backs, like physical by nature, can run, can just he's not necessarily outstanding dribbler and outstanding goal scorer and so this and that. Like I keep going back to Saka. Like you look at how Saka plays. Like we don't have a player that's come up the system like a Saka. We don't have a player that's come up through the system like a Foden or like a Palmer. That happened through their systems. I feel like we just produce like
I would
almost
agree.
brutes.
I would
you know?
disagree because we had Hudson Odoi, who pre-injury was Saka. Pre-injury, when the first breakout season 2019, he was Saka because he was producing the same numbers as Saka did when he did that, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just he had the horrific injury side, and he hasn't been as good. And he had a decent season this season, obviously nothing compared to what he could have been, but that's because of injuries. We couldn't have foreseen. But pre then, he was basically the same trajectory as Saka. He started off the same way as Saka for us.
Mm-hmm.
I think going back to what Scott said in the previous stream, like it's more of a theme with our midfielders than anything else. Like the more physical side and the lack of the technical stuff. Your Mounts, your Gallaghers, and your Rices. A Loftus-Cheek would maybe be an exception to that rule. But in terms of attackers, like we say, Elise and Musiala, they've got technical ability. I'd say you look at all the centre backs. Gurhi, Tomori, they're fine technically. Andreas Christensen is one of the best technical centre backs that I've personally seen play for Chelsea. And he came from Cobham. So I think it's really just a midfielder thing, like what Scott said, and we need to hone in on that personally. Again, the attack's fine because we've had Musiala and Elise, and they're not.
That's really it, though. Like when you just spoke, you just named more center backs than you did attackers. There's 2 attackers to our 5 or 6 center backs that have come up through our academy.
But you could say the same with Man City. Man City only have Palmer and Foden for their attack. Who else do they have? They don't have anyone else.
Rico Lewis and Oscar Bob. These guys are
Oscar Bob is coming
as well.
They're all defenders and midfielders.
Oscar Bob, I think maybe TV.
That's what I mean. It's a balance.
Right,
like they're producing players from all positions.
But Rico Lewis is a right back who they're playing as CDM.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd also say I'd also say even
Tammy was shit, and so is Broja. Come on. Now.
By the way, I'd also say
Broja was shit.
By the way, even like Callum Hudson-Odoi, I know none of us rate him, but even at his worst, Callum Hudson-Odoi is a fine technical player. The problem is he had no end product. But in terms of, can I rely on you to have a first touch? Can I rely on you to hold the ball and stuff like that? Like he can do that. He just didn't attempt enough dribbles. It was a confidence thing. But his technical ability was fine.
For injury, he could have been actually something good.
The problem is the injury just took away his threat. But technically speaking, he was a fine player. He just lost his burst and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, obviously we do have a difference of opinion here, which is why you guys watch the show. Obviously, you want different opinions. I feel like with with
we wish.
Felipe Coelho taking the mantle, I do want to see a different style of players and different gear towards how we produce players, and see how it works out for us. I mean, I would like to see a more, I guess, impressive products from the academy. I'll just put it that way. I feel like I've been more disappointed with the academy products than impressed. Not to discredit, Reese, you got the Olises, you got the Musialas, but the other people that you guys have named, they haven't been that great for Chelsea in terms of academy graduates. Like, let's be honest. Like, is anyone missing Tomori nowadays? Not really. Harvey Vale. Do you guys remember who Harvey Vale is?
It depends with Tomori. It depends.
It depends too. I would probably miss Tomori, to be honest.
Tammy
I
Abraham,
wish we kept
no
him
one
a bit
wants
longer.
Tammy Abraham.
Me
too at the time. At the time, I said but I can blame Frank Lampard for that. But speaking on, we were talking about players and the injuries.
Chalobah's
and
a good one to shout. You're not sure if you shout Chalobah. Chalobah's a talented centre back.
Yeah, throw him into the centre backs.
Yeah.
I actually rate him as a talented one. But
that's what I mean. Again, we're going back to the center back thing. I feel like we produce good center backs and defensive players. It's just midfield and attacking. I feel like it's lacking. I know you guys said Cho, but in the long run, we look at Cho and it's just it never worked out. It's just, it is what it is. But let's go into the other side of the Cho story, which the injuries and that. We're doing something to prevent Chelsea from going into that injury crisis it went into last year, and that's our ownership revamping the medical team, which I didn't expect this to happen, guys, but it is happening. and I would like to hear your thoughts. So PYS here saying, Ground Guru here reporting, Paul Winstanley and Lawrence Stewart have overseen a performance and medical revamp with Stephen Lewis, Dr. X Fulham, Brighton, Myron Jones, lead therapist, 13 years in Australia, and Richard Akinhead, head of performance insights XFA, all joining Chelsea. Not going to pretend like I know what those names are, but let's continue on. Chelsea have hired former South Africa Rugby and AFC Bournemouth medical director Craig Roberts to become the new head of performance medicine. And then lastly here we have the whole list of people and the changes being made. And I will say I'm a little surprised, but also I kind of am curious where we left off with the medical, because last we spoke on the medical team and last there was any news coming out of the medical team, it was under Bowley, I believe, last January. And it was that we'd hired these Hollywood, whatever the fuck, therapists, these guys who were doing medical. We hired a third party and we still had our previous medical guy come in and visit from time to time. It was a whole shit show. So it is nice to see that we are hiring in good positions. I do like this appointment of Craig Roberts. If you're coming from rugby and you have to deal with those injuries, and you also did it in the Premier League or Championship with AFC Bournemouth, you got some experience on you, and this could be a really good hire. What are your thoughts, guys?
It sounds good to me. I mean, as much as I do blame Potts for the injuries, and that doesn't change, by the way, some of the stuff that I saw last season, like a particular example I'll use is Romeo Lavia. When he got injured against Crystal Palace on his one and only appearance.
30 seconds. 30 minutes, sorry.
Yeah, and it was originally reported, and so you'd assume that the information originally came from the medical department. They reported originally a 2-week recovery from whatever, a bruised thigh, whatever the hell it was. That turned into a 5-month injury. So where the hell have you got it wrong? Like, I'm sorry, but it doesn't take that. It doesn't take a few weeks to go from 2 weeks to 5 months. Like you can figure out. I'm sure you can figure out pretty quickly that you're going to be out for a couple months, mate. You need to just sit it out and get it out of your head that you're going to be playing this season at all. Again, I don't blame the medical team for the injuries, because Poch had his ways. He wouldn't let the players warm up with the under-21s and have training matches. And as much as the medical team can tell Poch that a player is injured and not ready, Poch has no obligation to listen to that advice. But at the same time, there are instances like the one with Lavia where the diagnosis process just seems completely screwed up. And at that point, something's got to give for the betterment of the players, for the manager himself to actually have an idea of what he's working with. And just in general, really.
Yeah. I mean, Chris, what do you think about the medical team being changed up?
I mean, all of us said it pretty much bang on as well, but we did need to change some stuff from last season, because we're getting way too many injuries, and we weren't even in Champions League or nothing competition. We had less games, and we still had the worst injuries out of any Premier League club in stats wise, like amount of people injured. So we need to change things. We need to upgrade things, because we can't continue like that next season. We can build a big squad, but that still ain't enough if you get that many injuries and stuff like that. Like you said, you can blame Poch for some parts of it, but like not all of it is all on Poch. It'd be crazy to say all of these injuries are on Poch. That'd be crazy to say. So something needed changing, and I'm glad, like you said, Todd Bowley and all that, they are taking it serious and not leaving it unchecked or something. Because I see some other clubs, like Man United, it's a complete mess behind the scenes, apparently, like structure wise and staff wise, and you saw Ronaldo call out, in the gyms and everything like that. That's what I like about Todd Bowley. They are trying to just fix things and actually trying to get Chelsea moving. So hopefully this actually solves our injury crisis a lot better next season.
With United, I even remember Luke Shaw said something that sounded quite alarming about their medical staff. That was crazy.
Players do. I think Sancho even said something about it. Like I said, I can look at other clubs and say we ain't got that as bad. Like when I look at Man United or something. So there's that.
Oh, just on the subject of Sancho, he's a clown. Just got to get that out.
That's probably true. But
I just got to get that out of my system. My guy. Sorry for the tangent, but my guy got publicly defamed by his manager and then got exiled for publicly responding, which was his right to do, and now he's gone crawling back. What a clown!
Oh, okay, I see why.
Yeah.
Have you not seen that? He's returned to training under Ten Hag.
I don't think I don't think he has a choice.
Bro,
Yeah,
swallow your
come on, wait,
pride,
man.
take a wage cut, and leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should do that.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyway, sorry, that was a tangent. Yeah.
No, you're fine. So yeah, with the whole medical team thing too, I will say, like, this is one of those instances, guys, where us as Chelsea fans, us as like rational Chelsea fans who want to be fair in how we assess the ownership, we need to look at the situation. We need to look at where it was and what's being done about it. And when it works out, we need to give our praises, or we need to have our praises be as loud as our criticisms, right? We've criticized a lot about Win Stanley and Lawrence Stewart and the things that they've done in terms of the loan moves, which we found out a few little truths about that, nuggets of truth that weren't their fault. We found a few things about the recruitment and all that stuff and whatever. At the end of the day, this is one of the moves that I think is necessary for this club to have a successful season next season and avoid injuries on players like Wesley Fofana, Reece James, Romeo Lavia, so on and so forth. So this is one of those instances where people who are critical of, Lawrence Stewart and Paul Winstanley, give your praise for this, because this is something that they're doing that is the right move and the right thing that we need to do. Now, time will tell if it actually works out and if it's actually a actual good move and these guys are competent enough. But yes, I have to say this is one of those instances where Paul Winstanley, Lawrence Stewart, kudos to you guys for addressing an issue that you may have seen. Hopefully, it's improved vastly from last season. Now that we don't have Pochettino as well. And we can move forward and have a season where we actually have a good squad to put out there consistently. We don't have to worry about our players being hurt.
I do have to say, though, I really hope that these two are qualified to be working in the area of like medical science and stuff like that, and hiring people for that. Because like, I don't know if sporting directors generally are in charge of that, but I look at a guy like Paul Winstanley, who before Chelsea, his biggest thing in football was being a head scout. Like, I don't know where that correlates with hiring a doctor or something like that, but maybe I'm wrong. I'm just got my fingers crossed. I really hope that they're qualified for it.
Fingers crossed. I mean, it looks like based on the main director that they got, like they got someone who's experienced and actually has done the work in the sport at least. So that being said,
yeah, as long as they're basing it on good evidence, like these guys have good records of keeping players fit and rehabbing, that I guess that should be good enough. So, yeah.
Exactly. So, that being said, Chris, I'm going to need you for this section. Are you ready?
Yes.
This is the most important section of the entire stream tonight, okay?
Oh, no.
Fuck's sake.
This is all gonna weigh on you, okay? This is Chris.
Why do I always get sucked into this thinking,
Chris,
it's gonna be something important?
This is all you, all right? We got your back. And I'll be honest, guys. I'll be honest. I don't hate it. I actually don't hate it. I think I actually like it.
Can we bring back the concept with the two carrots on the neck?
Oh, no.
Can we please bring that back? I'd prefer that at this point. This is so...
What's wrong with you guys?
No.
This is bad.
The carrots is worse. Come on. The carrots are
Dude,
worse.
No, it isn't. What the hell is that?
The carrots are worse. This
carrots
is like...
are worse.
This isn't the greatest either, and some people like it, like Marshall. Marshall likes a lot of Chelsea kids, but
Chris, remember the back of this? It's actually the same all the way through.
Yeah.
So it's not a blue back.
It's not as bad. I have to see him wearing it too. I'm not a fan of the badge though. I'll be real. The badge is disgusting.
Really, the badge?
Horrible.
From this angle, the badge actually looks like the badge.
I mean, I don't like the orange. Why?
What? The thing.
Well, I
the
can't
thing
tell
I
if it's
don't like
copper or orange.
The thing I don't like about the badge is that that's a flame design on the shirt. That's what I'm getting. It's like a flame.
That's what it's inspired from.
Why is the flame going through the badge? Can't the badge just be the badge and like just be the normal Chelsea?
That's cool too, though.
Yeah, I would.
It's your soul. It's your pride as a Chelsea fan burning through the shirt.
Yeah, but why can't it be like about the circle? The actual. Just
This
need
is
that.
launching to tomorrow or today for you guys.
I
Actually, no,
can't wait to
tomorrow.
get it, man. I'm gonna get it tomorrow.
Yes, it will
Yeah,
be
of
today.
course you should.
I'm gonna get Gallagher on the back as well.
I actually don't think this looks bad because you know what, guys?
The back is a
Everyone
lot
is
better
saying
now, at least.
everyone's saying Adidas this, Adidas that, Adidas this, Adidas that, and you know what?
Yeah.
Both manufacturers, Puma, Adidas, all of them,
Puma's
they
elite. We can't lie.
make
Puma's
bad
like
kits too.
No,
They
Puma's
make bad
elite.
kits too. Puma, I will have to look into Puma ones, but
Puma's elite,
No,
man.
the two ones already. You got Nike and Amazon. No, not Amazon. Sorry, Adidas. It is so late. It is so late.
Yeah,
oh my
yeah.
god.
it's all good. It's all good.
Ugh,
I actually
ugh.
don't think this looks bad anymore. Now that I've seen it, like I'm like, you know what? Like it's not my favorite, obviously. I do kind of like it because you know, Chris, picture this, right? Picture this,
All
right? Follow me here. Follow me here. You know
I'll
when they do
follow
the photoshops
Yeah.
of like the players in movement, right? And then they have the little trails,
Little spinny.
you know. Not little spinnies, like the little trails, like the little, you know, the trails of like they were here, like Flash
Like
Gordon,
Gordon.
right?
So
Yeah.
they run in their clothes.
Think
for
about
what?
that with like the highlighted stuff, like it glows, like kind of, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we should play
These
in
players
dark.
are gonna have aura on the pitch. That's what it is, Chris.
kid is
It's
not
aura.
aura. That
It's
kid is not
aura.
aura.
I figured it out. Wow,
It's not aura.
guys, our new Chelsea home kit
That
is
kid
aura.
minus aura 500, man.
It's
That kid is
aura.
not aura.
This manifested.
I'm sorry. Come on, this is not aura. And when Chelsea
Look.
play, oh yeah.
Oh my
aura.
god, it looks awful. Oh my God.
Let me say this.
Oh my-
That is, I think what I'd like to say about this. This is a good, like, or experimental third kit.
Yeah, yeah.
That is not
Thank
a
you.
home shirt.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
I'm
to
sorry,
see it.
that can't be a home shirt. That's
You know what?
ridiculous.
We've had worse though. We have honestly had worse than this, and I will say that. Like I remember, you know, like the one design where it's like checkers.
Thank you, Vic.
Yeah, I hated that. I hated that
Yeah,
too.
It was awful. It was awful. But I'm
That
saying-
one was the worst
I-
one yet.
I like plain home shirts. Maybe
Oh.
have some like
Yeah,
different.
because you're boring, okay?
Maybe-
I hate to tell
maybe
you,
you
because
like
you're
more-
boring.
Bro,
All right?
I watched Drogba score a Champions League final in a plain kit, and that's my memory.
Real Madrid's always plain as well. That white one, pretty much. So.
Exactly. Imagine if Real Madrid did
Exactly.
this.
Exactly.
Wait, didn't Real Madrid
And
have like
and does Real
No,
Madrid
that was
not
their
have
away
aura?
kit, not their home kit. They've never done that home kit. They've never done.
Yeah,
it
the
for them.
home kit's
It's
always
away.
white. Yeah, it's always
No, but
plain.
imagine if they
Always
included a flame design, a white flame design. That would go down like.
Can we,
Oh my
I
God.
see what
Can
you're
we
saying.
just
I
can
see
we
what
just
you're
add
saying.
some flower designs in the kit as well, just to make it look?
What?
cool?
Why not? Why not at this point?
Yeah, yeah. Like just to make it look cooler, not boring. Since you don't want boring, we just may as well add some carrots in there.
Let's make the busiest kit of all time.
Well, we
like,
did that with the whole
you
checker
don't have
thing.
to-
That
the
was
thing is-
definitely a busy.
Now we're gonna
kit.
go even busier than that.
Yeah, we may
I
as
don't
well.
think this is bad, man. I really.
Some
I,
people
I,
like
I,
it,
I'm
and I
just,
don't
I'm just
get
waiting for
why.
the away kit.
I just don't think. I just
I
don't think
want
it's a
the
home
third
kit.
kit.
That's all. That's what I'm saying. I just don't
want
think it's
the
a
black.
home kit.
I-
Maybe do a
okay.
different color with the flames, but I don't know.
when you make that argument, I get where you're coming from now. Like, yes, as a home kit, maybe it's a little too much, but I still think it's a great kit. I still think
Hey,
it's,
you're
it's a
entitled to
good
like
kit.
bad
you know?
kits. That's up to you, man. But,
No,
Surfer
listen,
likes
it's
it
just
too.
aura.
To be honest,
yeah,
Surfer likes
it's
it too,
aura.
so you're not
It's aura.
alone. Surfer
Say
likes
that.
it
Say
too.
that in the
Yeah.
season, man.
See, look, here, you can
That
watch this
kit's
guy.
bad. That kit is bad.
That kid is nice, but like, you know, you can watch him wear it. Look at that. It doesn't look bad. I don't think it looks bad.
You know what? He looks fire, man. He looks fire.
Yeah, you see, Chris?
Yeah, he looks like Aura, man. Aura 2.
Aura 2. Jesus Christ. Aura the sequel. Like, what are we talking about, bro?
You know
I
what,
don't
man?
think this
Maybe
kid
I
looks
need.
bad.
Maybe I need to see it on Cole Palmer. Maybe that will sell me. I don't know.
Yeah,
Wait,
because
here's
Cole
the
Palmer
thing.
has Aura.
Here's another thing you here's another thing you have to take into consideration. We're seeing the kit without the names on it, without the number on it, and without the sponsors on it.
Right.
If they do that right, like let's say it's like a gold color or a color that actually suits this, right? Then maybe it enhances it. Because I personally think with like logo on it or with something like a number or whatever or a name, it could potentially look really awesome.
No,
I'm gonna wait because I like the third kit so far the most.
you can put a gold block on the shit. It's still shit. Like, it doesn't matter what it is.
Oh man.
Thank God, we could. Thank God.
Anyways,
That's
this
nice.
is the away
I'll
kit.
buy this. I'm gonna buy the log sleeve of this. I'm gonna buy
That is much better.
You think so?
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is like
yes.
a cream color.
I prefer that one.
I, don't know,
I
this one
like
kinda
I
bores me.
like the light coloured, almost white kind of kits.
This,
I
is
remember.
why you're a math major, Oliver.
I
You like it plain and simple, man. 2 + 2
do
equals
any-
4. That's
Do
you.
any of you guys remember the away kit from Lampard's season?
Yep.
That is such a
The
beautiful kit,
Yokohama?
man. Yeah, the last Yokohama kit, the away kit, the white one.
Oh,
When what was a good game from that? When Tammy scored his first 2 goals for Chelsea against Norwich. That was a beautiful kit, man.
I don't know, guys.
I think we
kinda
played
bores
Rennes
me.
in that kit. No, was it Rennes or Lille? Something like that. It was such a nice kit. I love white. It's such a nice colour
Yeah,
of a
I'd do
kit.
like a white kit, or black, or yeah, or blue.
There's a reason Real Madrid have it.
And yellow.
Oh, this is the actual kit, like
Oh, that looks
in
clean.
the flesh.
That looks clean.
Yeah,
Finally,
it's a good quality.
that
you
should
know,
be
I-
more
I
the
like the
home one, but
quality.
it's white, so you can't.
But like,
That's
I
the
don't
big
know.
blue.
I don't like that cream color. That cream color kind of bothers me a little bit. It's not really white,
The
I
material.
think you need to see it as some different lightings. Maybe that'd help.
but it doesn't look white. I don't think that's white.
It's not
like
like,
an off-white.
white. Yeah, I think the orange is like doing mixes with it as well. Probably that's why.
Maybe.
Yeah. It is a nice kit, but I mean, it's
Why
not
did
like
you do
I
this
love
the home
it.
thing? Oh, you love you love all the fire flames and yeah.
Yeah, it shows
Or the
passion and
pixie
aura,
dust.
man. That's all. That's
Clear
what
Lake,
football's
please
about
drop
nowadays
Nike at the
anyways.
first available opportunity. I
yeah,
need these
get
guys
Jordan.
gone.
It's not
Get
gonna
Jordan.
change anything. We're still gonna
We're
have
gonna Jordan.
shit
Jordan,
kits.
Jordan.
We got Jordan, and our lives are gonna
Please,
change.
Bro, guys,
will-
don't make me
Luke
actually
Chelsea.
look up Jordan kits so that I can show
Yeah,
you
you
Jordan
will.
fumble
You,
soon.
look up,
Do it
you
now.
got fumble.
Do it
You
now.
got
Oh
fumble.
my god. Okay.
You
They have
can-
way more hits.
Fine.
They have like a 9 out
You're
of
gonna
10.
type in bad Jordan kids.
Yeah, they have like a 9 out of 10.
Is the hang on a minute? Is the Nike deal even a good financial like kit deal?
Yeah,
Are we making
it is.
good money on these on this manufacturing deal?
That's pretty.
See,
okay.
I knew you got like that one when you looked at it.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. But
The-
you
like
guys
the-
would have
the
hated
fishy
this.
one.
If we had something like this, you
No,
would
I
be like,
wouldn't.
what's
No,
all
no,
this
no,
fucking
no,
random
Barca colors.
scatter
No,
paint
no,
on it?
because it's
That's-
Barca colors. It's blue and this
Yeah,
red.
that makes
That's
sense.
Barca colors. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
See?
All right, let me
Yeah,
look
their
at
color
that
scheme is
one.
that like blue and red. Yeah.
Bro, we seen the
Look
like
at that
the PSG
PSG
one.
kit. Look
Yeah,
at
the PSG one's
This
up.
PSG? No, that's not
No,
No,
PSG.
this
no,
one,
no,
no, no,
below,
the
below,
next one.
below.
Bottom left. Look at that.
I
Oh my
like that.
god. Oh
That's
my
clean.
god. I want to buy that. That was just-
With the
I'll pay
sponsored
so
man,
much
it's
money.
perfect as
I'll
well.
pay so much money for that. I'll
That's
pay so
aura.
much.
That is aura.
A nice
There you
clean
go.
looking kit, man. What I love.
That's Puma. Who
See,
cares?
that's even a nice kit. Sadly,
And that's Puma though, but yeah.
That's Puma. Yeah.
Oh, this is nice.
this is a lot. See, that's a lot. See, and that's a bit. See, if you want to do like stuff like that, that's okay.
I
Kind of.
don't know, boys. I don't know.
Hey,
Like
look at the
this-
Jordan kit again. Look
Look
at
at
the
this
Jordan kit.
Adidas one. This is
Yeah, but look at the
disgusting.
Jordan kit.
Yeah, that's
look at it
disgusting,
again.
but-
Yeah, the
No,
Jordan
that's
kit.
that's like a third
Yeah,
kit
yeah.
though. That's like
Yeah,
a
that's
third
the-
kit.
That is the third kit. Yeah, it's not home.
Again, you can be
Is that
experimental.
United?
We wore a Crystal
Yeah.
Palace t-shirt as a third kit.
Oh,
Yeah,
third
we
kit.
did. I bought it as well just for a joke. It's like £20.
This is a concept, so we're fine. There's a
Mm,
concept on it, so we're good.
Look at
Yeah,
that.
this is
That's
legit
aura.
one. Look at
That
it.
is
Oh my
aura
god,
right
it's
there.
all-
Shut the fuck up.
I'll pay so much money for this.
It's not.
No,
That's
no. We're gonna go back.
That's
Go
quite
back.
nice, by
Look
the
at
way,
look
that's
at right. Look at the right. That one. That's legit.
Oh
remember
my
this.
god! Look at that. That's
This is the third kit. Look at
Aura.
how good this looks. Look at this. Look at how good
All right,
this
all right.
is.
You guys might have.
That golden red is so nice.
Look at that again. Again, it slaps. It slaps every time. Jordan doesn't miss, man. Jordan doesn't
Look
miss.
at that one. Oh,
I'm gonna
that's
be on the
just-
lookout for the Jordan Mist. These are all hits, though. I'm not gonna lie. These are good. I like these kits.
Well, there you go, Marshall.
Yeah,
Like
man.
this
Can we
one,
just get
Chris?
Jordan or
Yeah,
You like
you
Adidas?
this one,
see
Chris?
it.
You like this one, Chris?
There's a goalkeeper.
Yeah, this is the third kit. This is the third kit.
That's goal.
That's-
no,
You
that's
guys-
That's a training. That's a
That's the
training.
yeah,
third
yeah, it's training. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, they've been with Jordan for a hot minute, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fire every time. It slaps.
PSG
Every
knows, man.
time
Their
it slaps.
money. Their money.
That kid is actually pretty dope.
I mean, they're always in the
This is a dope
Champions
kid.
League, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to start getting that together.
Thanks, Oliver. Thanks for reminding us.
Yeah, we need a Champions League to get Jordan.
Please,
Yeah.
I need Jordan. Please get us a champ.
No one.
Look at this.
Yeah.
This is
Uh,
real. Look at how
uh,
look.
What it could have been? What it could have been? If we got Champions League football.
Don't do this to me, Chris. Don't do this. To me.
What it could have been? I would have said we got to take us back to our kit.
Yeah. Ooh, Crystal Palace. What do you guys got? I don't know who kit server?
Even
What
Crystal
is
Palace
this?
kits look a lot better than ours.
I don't even know, man. I think I'm done looking for kits for tonight. But hey, you know what?
Yeah,
I'll
'cause now
I'll be
Jordan's
on the
making
lookout
fast.
for that flop fucking Jordan kit, just to prove my point that Nike it makes bad
Has this
kits.
proved your point?
But just to prove my point that Nike makes bad kits, but they're not the only one that makes bad kits.
Yeah, Adidas
Look
do
at this
too.
Jordan kid.
Speaking
Look at
of-
it again. It's slapping
I'm
again.
not looking at the Jordan kit. I'm just saying.
Hey, that's
man.
true. That's true. That's true.
I'm just saying. Not looking at the Jordan kit on that one. All right, let's stop. Let's stop.
Now let's go back to our amazing kit.
Yeah,
no,
listen,
no.
man. I think the kit's all right. Okay, I'm not gonna go crazy on
I
it.
think
it's an all right kit.
Marshall being nice, I think it's a solid 4.
Jesus Christ, Chris,
That's nice. A solid 5.
you are
4.5.
not a nice person.
No, I'm not buying that
You
kit.
you like
So I'm
you
going
like
very
boring
low.
kits,
This
man.
man said, I'm being nice. It's a solid 4.
I'd rather be boring
Fucking
instead
ridiculous.
of just wait. No, I'm gonna take back what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say something wild then.
Yeah, be careful. All right,
I'm
well,
gonna do what Alex
anyways, don't do that. Anyways, yeah, definitely don't do that. Okay. Now we're talking about wild things and unreasonable stuff. Let's talk about some of these weird links that we've been linked with, which I don't know how legit they are. I don't think they're gonna happen, but let's kind of nip it in the butt and address it. False links, essentially. Let's start off with this first one. You guys could tell me if I'm wrong, if I'm right, or if Oliver's gonna duplicate himself into two people.
Oh,
Oliver, you're having quite a rough time with stream today.
Trying to make two
Anyways, let's go ahead and share my screen and show you guys what I'm talking about here. So we have here from Record Portugal, Chelsea are among clubs monitoring Francisco Conceição and may make a move before next Monday as his release clause increases from 30 to 45 million euros. Then we have here Chelsea are said to be among clubs to have expressed an interest in signing him. £23.5 million release clause valid until next week. Then another one here is Danny Olmo. We were linked with Danny Olmo. What?
Huh?
Exclusive. Danny Olmo's £50 million right back. Danny Olmo's £50 million right back Red Bull Leipzig release clause is expected to be triggered before it expires next Monday. Chelsea are understood to be one of the clubs that have shown concrete interest in him. Last year, Olmo penned a new long-term contract with Leipzig until summer of 2027, meaning they would be well within their rights to increase the price once Monday has passed. And we continue here. Chelsea adamant they are not pursuing deal for Danny Olmo despite appreciation for the players. I mean, Francisco Conceição and Danny Olmo, I mean, are we really disappointed that they're not actually linked? And are we actually... Wait a minute, I just shared the one window. I just realized. Sorry, guys. Let me fix that for you. Sorry, here we go. But yeah, is it kind of like weird to see these links? Does it make any sense to you? Do you think there's actually validity in them? Or are you disappointed we're not actually linked to them? I mean, Curry, I would actually be interested to hear your thoughts on this.
With regards to Olmo, it made sense pre-Shrewsbury Hall, so now it doesn't make any sense. Because if we didn't have Shrewsbury Hall, he would be amazing, and he's had a great Euro. So, but in terms of Conceição, it doesn't make sense. Left footer, right wing, and this is during a time where we've been reporting for the past 2.5 weeks that we want a left winger who's right foot. And we have Mattaway to there, and then next year we're getting Hayes and Esteval who've been balling, so no point in Conceição. Even though it's a good money deal, the deal's ending today. The release clause increases to I think 40 or 50 million euros now from 30 million. So it would have been a good deal if we didn't have a Mattaway already. But no point. And he's only played, I think I've seen only 4 games professionally in the left wing. So he's not like used to being in the left wing position.
Sure.
There's no point.
Yeah, I didn't think some of these rumors made any sense. Chris, Oliver, do you guys have any opinions on
is
this?
just getting used for clicks, so I'm just saying that one right there because
No, Chelsea.
That's probably what it is.
we ain't getting linked to him until what after
But
just
Chelsea's
a year.
being used for clicks, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, well, basically. And the other guy, he's a right winger.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
I'm
think
listening.
we need it. For 45 million, we just don't need another right winger for 45 million. We need a left winger. What happened to the talks where we was going after a left winger? We're not going for right wingers after Elise. a step away from right wingers because we just don't need it. Is he left-footed or right-footed? That winger, by the way.
He's left-footed.
Oh yeah, stay away then. No, thank you.
I mean, it depends if you believe Ryan Tate.
I mean, but even in my mind, why do we need another right winger and another left footer?
But like I said, I think this is literally just stick Chelsea's name next to a player and you get clicks. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Literally, everyone uses us. Fabrizio uses us so much. Why can't anyone else use us? It's just commonplace now. We are the transfer kings, as it seems. We're linked to everyone, so everyone's going to pay attention. That's all it is. I don't pay attention to it. You've got
yeah.
You've got.
Are you guys disappointed with these links actually not being true though?
I wouldn't even want Olmo. Like, I don't think he's needed at Chelsea because we've got Nkuku, Copa, what's his name? I forgot his name now. Carney Chukwuemeka, who's obviously another 10 as well. Olmo would be a good player, by the way. I think he'd be a good bench or competition for Nkuku. Like that'd be good. Depending on how much Olmo is, but we're not getting Olmo. It's just fake. So it's no point.
After the tournament he's had, his price would be high if anything.
Yeah, and we paid 60 for Nkuku, so hopefully Nkuku works out of anything.
And again, this is another reason why I don't really believe it, because we were literally looking at Leipzig when we were getting Nkuku. Why? And we were also linked to Dominic Szoboszlai. Why? What has changed since now and then that all of a sudden Danny Olmo would be a great buy, unless, like I said, it's because he's had a good tournament and people are using him and Chelsea for clicks.
Fucking minerals, bruv.
That's why.
I just want us to go for an actual left winger. An actual one. Is that a lot to ask? We just buy midfielders and buy right wingers and buy more centre backs. Why not a left winger? Because are we just backing Mudryk to go do something next season? Are we just going to back that? And
I don't know. That's not what it is. The problem is you can't. The problem is you can't get rid of either of our left wingers.
I'm not saying get rid of Mudryk, by the way. I don't.
Yeah, but then you can't get rid of Sterling. So you've got two left wingers regardless.
I don't know why we can't get rid of Sterling.
Wages.
Because he's on 300 3 years left.
And his representatives just constantly brief that he's settled in London and he's fine.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't want to leave.
Especially London.
You didn't win, Ahmed. You didn't win the war.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, we know that, but Ahmed doesn't. But speaking on winning the war, speaking on, actually, I don't know. Speaking on winning the war,
Oliver's war with his phone now.
Yeah, right now Oliver is battling with his phone. But besides that, we do have some damning comments that I think Oliver showed me. Well, Oliver did show me, but I think Oliver definitely wants to have an input on this, and I think you guys will want to have an input on this too. Moises Caicedo came out with an interview while he was in Copa America, where he pretty much called out a few of the issues he had last season, including Pochettino and the fan base. So let's actually go ahead and read into it, right? So first thing we have here is Moises Caicedo. What are Chelsea fans like? At the beginning of the season, some of us, the players, were getting attacked because we weren't doing well and the fans were attacking us. It was hard for me because I preferred to play away than at home because the Chelsea fans were attacking me. Interview with Alfonso Lasso. Jesus. Alfonso Alonso. I mean, Lewis isn't wrong here. Enzo and Caicedo are awful, but Gallagher himself is sensational. Parts of our tapped fan base. We continue on. Caicedo at Brighton. Caicedo said that at Brighton, it was all tactical, just with the ball. Tactical. And at Chelsea, it was run, and it was very difficult for me. With Chelsea, I always ran a bit more, and with Brighton, we almost always had the ball. With Chelsea, it was different football, and we had to run more. So, barely any tactics. Just pure run, press, run, press.
If it's just running, then yeah, that's just.
It's pretty fucking pathetic.
I'm not even surprised.
It's absolutely fucking pathetic.
I'm not surprised at Poch because all he cares about is running, and that's why he loves Gallagher, and that's why he would never drop Gallagher because Gallagher.
Yeah.
God, he loves to run. He
I'm
enjoys
so
running.
happy we're hearing this from a direct source, aka the guy who literally trained under him, as if the interviews that we heard from Carl Walker and that Southampton striker that played under him, as if that wasn't enough already. We have this as evidence.
One more comment that was said here. Moises Caicedo. I think this is the worst one. Since February, my agent hired a person who reviews my matches and what I have to improve, how to position myself, and mentally. It's helped take pressure off me because I was thinking more about they paid a lot of money for me. I have to perform well. I wasn't focused, not showing my level. After my agent hired that person, I started to improve and gain more confidence.
Oh, that's bad.
That person told me, real quick, that person told me if they paid that much for you, it's because they know your value. And from then on, I started to feel better. He helped me a lot, to be honest. Next season is going to be excellent. These quotes were 3 weeks ago, prior to the 7th, so they were from mid-June, pretty much.
Yeah.
But it's damning. It's absolutely damning that, like, I remember there was a stream a while ago where I was talking to you guys. I was like, dude, I have a feeling they don't even watch tape. And this is, like, kind of confirming that.
Yeah.
Like, Moises Caicedo, the biggest signing that we've had at Chelsea in terms of a record fee. We can't even do the bare minimum as, like, actually go over his games with him and see where he could improve. We weren't developing these players. These players had to develop on their own. It's fucking ridiculous. So, like, I saw these comments and it's just like, God damn it, I can't believe that for a fucking second, me as a Chelsea fan actually wanted to give Pochettino possibly next season to see what he can do. Thank God he's gone, because he would have stinted the growth of so many players, and we would have regressed more than we would have made progress under this manager. And God only forbid how many players he managed to get injured through his training, through his lack of fucking inability to even, think to himself that, oh, maybe I should rest these players. Maybe I should, give them some tactics. I don't know how this guy has made it this far into football not doing these things. Like, I just don't know. Like, I know every manager has their way of managing and all this and that, but, like, God damn it. I'm sure this is probably a large part the reason why this manager is still without a job to this day. So, I don't know, man.
I'll tell you
I don't know
reason,
what else to say.
Outside of whatever he did at Espanyol and Southampton, this is a manager that has consistently relied on the individual brilliance of players in his squad. At Tottenham, he had Harry Kane, Heung-min Son, Dele Alli, Eriksen. At PSG, he had Mbappe and Neymar and Messi. At Chelsea, he had Cole Palmer and even Caicedo, who we have good players at Chelsea. He's constantly relied on quality of the individual rather than giving them a framework to work. That's all it is, really. And especially the stuff with him hiring a personal coach or whatever, like, I'll be real, the whole stuff about the mentality thing, like, as much as we'd like the managers to deal with that, that's not always a formality. That's really more delving into sports. That's more of a sports psychology kind of thing, and even then, not every club has a sports psychologist hired. But the stuff about, like, where to position yourself, this is literally tactical stuff that a manager or someone from the coaching staff should be going through with you as like a feedback game to game and how to improve. And if Caicedo wasn't getting this, and he actually had a good season, by the way, it really puts into perspective with a player like Mykhailo Mudryk, who needs that. Yeah. And he didn't get it. And so that's a year of his career wasted. And again, I don't rate the guy too much, but stuff like this just does not help whatsoever. And it's damning. I will be so shocked. I won't even be shocked because this guy manages to always fraud his way into another job. But it's just going to be a sad day for football, if I'm being completely honest.
Chris Curry.
No, like I said before, I agree with Oliver. Like, I think with Caicedo, he's only had like 2 bad games, maybe 2 bad games. He's been quite consistent as a player, and like Oliver said, and I saw that straight away. Why is the manager doing this? Even Lampard gave Alonso instructions when he was messing up. Even Lampard, I hear stories where Lampard's trying to give him instructions and stuff like that. I'm not saying Lampard's a good coach, by the way. He's one of our worst ever coaches, but Poch, I don't know. Like, I think Poch just maybe like Tottenham, that Champions League final. He's just never been the same after that. Even at PSG, he was not that great. He just was not hitting at PSG. And at PSG, it's not even that hard to be because, like, you know, they always win the league normally anyway, don't they? So, and they have the best team. But yeah, hopefully next season with a manager who, you know, knows what he's doing. Hopefully, does, like, you know, deal with Enzo. Hopefully Enzo gets used right next season, by the way, because Enzo got poorly treated by Pochettino, overused and playing him in out position too many times. So
And
I'm
injured.
yeah, like he's going for that big injury. Forced. He like I said, he's overplayed and he's going for that injury. So it was just disgusting to see as well. So
Curry,
I'm just so glad Poch is gone. By the way,
Curry, does this ruffle your jimmies in any way?
I'm just not surprised. I'll be honest with you. It's Pochettino, Mr. Lemon Merchant himself, that's going to take away all the bad energy, whatever nonsense BS he does. I swear to God, what an idiot! I'm not surprised that he's like Oliver was alluding to the interviews from Kyle Walker told me everything, because this interview was done during the season, and he said like the difference between Poch and Pep like right away is the amount of passing, and he's like it's the amount of tactical work too. It's like even till today he's saying that, and we're not surprised when Caicedo is saying the same things. When we're seeing Messi and PSG be right wing back and have his worst goal seasons in his history, then we can.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's just like seeing this stuff. Like, I hope this is the last time I talk about Mauricio Pochettino in you know, in the context of Chelsea, because like it's.
Sorry, you finish.
Well, what? Well,
Sorry, go on,
what,
Patrick.
Oliver? Well, what?
I was just going to say, if you want to finish off this, I'll just say, if you want to stop talking about it, we can talk about the Chelsea home pact.
Oh well, okay. I mean that too.
But like,
okay, you know what? That reminds me. I do want to go back to that. But like, yeah, with the whole Pochettino thing, like, if this doesn't make it obvious now, like, you got the players coming out. People were saying, "Oh, the media, it's gonna twist things and all that stuff." Like, sure. But even now, you have players coming out in interviews saying these things, like I was told to run. There was less tactics. That you know, I wasn't told how to position myself. The fact that, like, and not to knock it, I'm sure this is still, even with Pep, right, as your manager, I'm sure there's still players that within Pep's you know, locker room, they still, you know, have their own personal coaches that tell them how to improve or what they see and have another opinion, right? So I don't think that's abnormal. Like, this is things that, like, if Caicedo had that guidance, I'm sure he would have mentioned it as well. You know, like, I don't see, he's been pretty transparent about everything with Poch in these few questions that we've seen. Why wouldn't he point out the fact that, like, oh, Poch did help me do this and improvement? He's not mentioning it for a reason, okay? Because it wasn't there. And so it just annoys me. And I think it stints the growth for so many of the players that we just brought in, that we criticized. And it's like, well, now you see why these things are these growth, these careers, these players get stinted because of managers like this one. I never wanted him. I'm glad he's gone. Screw him. Now, the fan base, that's another thing. And to a certain extent, you know what? This is going to lead me to my next topic. So let's actually go into the next topic, which is Cucurella had some comments to say as well. So let's get into that one. We have him right here. So Cucurella basically coming out and saying, fans judge me and some other teammates by the price Chelsea paid, which has nothing to do with me. If that money had gone straight into my pocket, maybe that would have been fair. People expect that. With certain price tag, you need to be a machine. We continue on. Cucurella on being booed. I got used to that when I returned to Brighton in a Chelsea shirt. It was another night when the boos were really loud every time I touched the ball, so I got used to it. The first time I went through this, I won't say it's an unbearable feeling, but it's unpleasant. Now I'm more used to it. And then he has here, I was a bit scared in the moments I was being criticized. When going for a walk in the city with my family, someone would insult us. It's never happened in a bad way, but I was a bit wary of that. That's what made me worry the most. In the end, this is part of football, I guess. You have to stay silent and keep working. And then lastly here, on Enzo Maresca, he texted me a couple days ago. The feelings were good. It all looked exciting, so I am looking forward to it. Some people from Chelsea reached me too. I've sensed that our teammates are very happy too. So, again, another one where the fan base kind of with Cucurella been extremely harsh. Like, listen, I get it. Cucurella has not been well. Cucurella, when he started at Chelsea, wasn't the best. It didn't look that great. Wasn't anywhere near the player that we thought we were getting from Brighton. However, and tying this in with the Moises Caicedo thing, I feel like, to an extent, these players get paid enough where they should be able to deal and cope with the booing and dissatisfied fans at some points during some games. It really felt that, these players didn't give a crap about the game. They felt like they didn't care about the result of the game. And then there were other games where we saw like, oh, these players are running at 110% all 90 minutes. So in those instances, I understand the fan sentiment. Now, I think it's really stupid if, as a fan, you're seeing a player with his family and you decide to insult him to his face. At that point, I agree with Darwin Nunez, and you should get punched in the face. Especially because you don't know these people. These people don't know you. And for you to say something like that, you never know how it can come off. It can come off as threatening and menacing. These people are around their families. They're going to defend their families. And so, like, it's really stupid to be aggressive in that sense. Like, dude, whatever happens on the pitch, leave it on the pitch. And that should go for fans as well. Like, I understand Chelsea fans were upset last season. That's fine. You're allowed to be upset. I was upset as well. I was pissed off at players as well. However, it stays at the game. It doesn't leave the game. After that, it's respect. They're playing for the badge. They're doing their best. They didn't pick their price tag like Cucurella said. And to a certain extent, even Moises Caicedo said the same thing. And the pressure got to him, but he sought out ways to improve it, and he worked on it. And he wanted to live up to that price tag that was put on him. He understands. These players understand that dynamic. But I think we need to start giving players a little bit more benefit of the doubt and some slack when it comes to the criticism, because sometimes it's not always their fault. And last season, we saw literally a lot of it was Pochettino's fault. But I've done enough talking. I'm sure you guys want to mention some things as well.
I will say, yeah, like, I would never want to lose Cucurella right now. He's in, like, hot form and everything like that. But I will say, Marshall, yes, you can criticize the player. You can boo the team at the end of the result if you don't think they're giving you good enough. But I feel like in the 90 minutes or something, when a player's on the ball, because we've seen it many times, you should never boo Cucurella. And he wasn't even being that bad, by the way. But, like, you shouldn't boo a player because you don't like him or something. It doesn't help you out or the team out if you're trying to put him off or something like that. So, yeah, I say stuff like that. You shouldn't just boo players for the sake of it. But, yeah, like, he's our only last standing left back we got. Like, Chilwell is finished and cooked, and like he's always injured. And you got obviously Maatsen sold, so we really need Cucurella to stay at this club. And it doesn't like help where he's messaging where like, you know, people like say stuff about like this stuff about him, but like you see Gary Neville, like he just talks shit about him, saying he will be the reason why Spain doesn't like get all the way through to the end, like acting like Cucurella is the main problem why Spain don't do well, when it's complete opposite. He actually helps the team play well. He's solid at the back and he's not the worst going forward. He's a great left back, but I don't know what it is with people, what they don't see Cucurella. Is it because he's not like flashy and techie and stuff like that? You know, he's not the best left back in the world. Of course he's not the best left back in the world, but he's not the worst or nowhere near it. He's a solid player. He is honestly a solid player, and I just don't see why people don't see like that. He's not a bad player. And
It's because he's a foreign left back from a small club.
I don't think he's ever really had a fair chance going to Chelsea. I felt like everyone's looked at him like he's a shit player. He shouldn't belong at Chelsea, and he's never really given that chance. And even this season where we was in the mud with these left backs and right backs, still playing Coelho at left back, he played really well at right back at Chelsea this season, and he played really well at left back at Chelsea, and he just needed that chance. And hopefully with Enzo Maresca's and his messages to Cucurella, it starts off a better starting compared to like the last couple of seasons anyway. So Yeah, I'm actually about to head off anyway. Just wanted to say that about Cucurella. I really like the player. Yeah, that was it. Wait, I can't hear Marshall. Wait.
You talking
Shit,
about?
I muted myself. Sorry.
Oh,
I was
sorry.
gonna say. Were you gonna say something, Oliver?
Well, let's just say goodbye to Chris first. He's
All right,
gone.
have a good night, Chris.
Yeah. I'll see you guys later anyway. Have a nice time.
All right.
Okay, so with Cucurella, like so much like with the quotes that you've picked out here, Marshall, there's so much context that can be applied to his situation at Chelsea that we haven't even considered yet. You know, with on top of him getting booed, you know, the fact that I think he was living in a hotel for the first 2 months of being a Chelsea player. Like him and his family were living in a hotel. Then he moved in and got burgled. So like that's a security risk to his family. So that plays in your mind. He then got tonsillitis, which hospitalised him, and he lost a lot of weight because of that. And then he had to basically rebuild his fitness whilst being the first choice left back because Chilwell was injured. And then like, yeah, there's so much has gone against him, to be honest. Like, people really need to give him the benefit of the doubt for that first season. And we see now that, you know, granted, it was a lot harder than it needed to be. You know, him going through the booing. A player shouldn't go through that unless it's justified, unless it's a Raheem Sterling where you're the highest paid player at the club and you play like an 18-year-old. That's not what Cucurella has ever been for us. And to be quite honest, like, you know, he deserved the benefit of the doubt in the first season. He had Graham Potter and Frank Lampard who didn't have the tactical wherewithal to play him as an inverted fullback, which is to his strengths. And it's just stuff like that where, again, and even with Caicedo and the stuff where he's getting booed and he has to actually seek out the coaching externally for his positioning. The lack of tactical IQ from this fan base, these guys actually don't understand football. A whole bunch of them just don't understand the game to any level whatsoever. And instances like this just really highlight that. And it does upset me, to be honest, the fact that one of our players comes out and says that he prefers to play away than at home. Like, there are so many clubs around the world. There's your Dortmunds and your Liverpools that use their home crowd as a 12th man, and they get behind their team, and it can be the difference between winning and losing a game.
Again,
we have the worst home support in the league. I'm going to say that bluntly right now. We have the worst home support in the league.
I don't know about that. Because I genuinely think United can be up there. Arsenal at their worst. Like, you know how Arsenal fans walked out when the game wasn't even over after, you know, losing one game but still were in the league. Like, I don't know. I think this is debate for that, right? But even taking it outside
just
of
in terms of last season, I think we had the worst. Because Arsenal were happy. United didn't really turn on their team even though they had a terrible season. We were just like shocking. Even when we were playing well, the crowd didn't even get on their feet for it. It was just terrible.
No, I get that, and it makes sense what you're saying. I just genuinely think that I think the fans have a right to be upset with players. I think they have a right to boo. I just, once it goes to insults, that's where it gets fishy for me. And that's where it starts getting personal. That's where I draw the line. Because, you know, I feel like what you guys said was really spot on. I feel like most players that come to this team, at least since I've, you know, been paying attention to Chelsea again, I feel like most players get at least a season. Cucurella didn't even get half a season before fans started to really rag on him. And the timeline was all over him in terms of criticism and such. Which, again, I don't think Cucurella was playing great. But there's also the circumstances, like you said, the sickness, the overall, what was going on at the club at the time, the turmoil, and how everyone else was also shit. It wasn't just him. But I feel like he just never got a fair shot. And that's the part that, you know, frustrates me and annoys me as a fan. Like, listen, if we're going to criticize, right? But actually have facts to back your criticism. Actually have constructive criticism. Not like here at, you know, Casually FC, we don't just fucking berate the players. We don't just fucking say their shit and all this and that. We actually back our reasons for thinking this. We actually give you examples of why we think it's this and that. At least I do. and that's kind of the type of environment that I want to have and create, where we can have actual intelligent conversations on football, not just strictly opinion based on how you feel about a player and so on and so forth. Like, at the end of the day, fuck your feelings. I don't care. Give me the facts. Tell me why this doesn't work. Tell me how we can make it work. Give me solutions, not just you bitching and moaning and complaining the whole time. So this is kind of how I am. I don't like to bitch. That's why you don't hear me come on stream estrogen all out, just complaining and whining about the ownership like other channels or other, social media outlets. I like to look at the facts. I like to analyze it. I like to think about putting myself in those shoes. I like to understand, and I like to come up with solutions or how things could work, right? So that's just always how I've been. I just don't like complaining for the sake of complaining. And I feel like a lot of fans, when they want to criticize a player, sometimes it's just for the sake of complaining. You had one bad game. Well, and I even remember doing this from like Ziyech to an extent. Like when Ziyech was forced to play on the left wing, or Werner was forced to play on the left wing, I have to remind people, like, okay, he had a bad game. Do you want to know why he had a bad game? Because he had Marcus Alonso on the left back with him that wasn't doing any overlapping. So he was on his own. Like, things like that. Like, you need to look at the game as a whole, not just as an individual player. It's not the player's fault that they set the price tag. It's not always the player's fault that they have a bad game. So that's why when it comes to, like, overall criticism, I always like to be critical, and I like to be factual. When I come out and criticize Nico Jackson, like Ahmed likes to say I have an agenda, which I think he's just trolling me. I don't think he genuinely believes that. But you guys know, my criticism of Jackson is the reason I call him Nicholas Touchy Jackson. He takes too many touches on the ball when he doesn't need to. It's an actual criticism. It's not just making fun of him for the sake of making fun of him. And that goes with Cucurella too. Like, I don't think Cucurella's a bad player. I think he had some bad patches of form early on. Now he looks great. Now there's no more excuses. He's settled in. He's now in a system that can help him more. Poch finally decided to play him in an inverted role to help him as well, which one of the few things that Poch did was brilliant. And we're seeing the best of Cucurella now in Spain as well. He finally got called up to the Spanish team. I'm sure he's been called up before, but he never was like a starter. But now he's like a legitimate starter, and he looks brilliant in this tournament. So I like Cucurella. I'm glad that he came out with those quotes. I know people want to criticize because he makes so much money and it's like football. Dude, I get it, but at the same time, I get where he's coming from. When you're out in public insulting the player in front of his family, come on now. Like, what do you expect? Any
Marshall,
Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. I think it's like a big factor we're missing is the Chilwell factor. Because Dean's men are always comparing him to Chilwell. And when we bought Cucurella, Chilwell was still kind of healthy. And these men at the time, because we had just won a Champions League, and we were deprived of a trophy for a couple of years. And obviously it's a Champions League, second in our club. So we basically helped some of these fans held Chilwell to the same standard as like an Ashley Cole. That's how much they were like in love with this man. So that's why even now, like, Cucurella is performing well in the US. There's Chelsea fans who are like, he's still trash, and they're doing Chilwell prone. And I'm like, Chilwell's injury prone, hasn't played well in 2+ years, and this man's continuing his form that he had to end the season into the Euros. And is arguably the best. He is the best fallback, but probably the best defender too, if you want defense and offense as a whole.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are we doing? I feel like it's a Chilwell factor too. That's what you're seeing with the Gary Neville's agenda too, right? Like, he's not good. He's gonna be one of the main reasons Spain is not going through. Not like their midfield not performing, which has been Spain's biggest thing. Like, that's what would stop them from making it far for Spain, not a left back in Cucurella for a Spanish side. It's not like this is the Brazil of the 2000s with like Roberto Carlos, but they're known for like high-flying wing backs. Like, what are we doing?
Do you guys want to know another comparison that killed Cucurella with the eyes of fans?
Sure.
When he was bought, one of the first things that Tuchel said about him was that he's similar to Azpilicueta. I don't know if you guys remember that, but he compared Cucurella to Azpilicueta, and that is some big shoes to fill. with the memories that Chelsea have with that player.
Yeah, of course.
So
You're,
it's exactly the same thing as comparing Gallagher to Kante, where it's completely crazy standard. Ashley's one of the best fullbacks in the history of this league. Like, can we just calm down for a minute and see how it goes before we jump to mad conclusions like that? You know?
No, I get that completely. So it's again like maybe we were kind of jumping the gun on that one, Tuchel, but it's yeah, I get it. I think I'm happy with the development. Not Kepa, I'm sorry. Cucurella, wrong Spaniard. I'm happy with the development Cucurella has undergone in the last 2 seasons with Chelsea. I'm hoping he continues to do well and perform well and prove the world that he's actually worth the, what was it, like 60 million that we bought him for, something like that?
Yeah.
And I think he is. I think we'll see the best of him next season. And yeah, we'll keep going. But you know, Curry brought up a good point on Chilwell, which, funny enough, we're actually going to bring up Chilwell right now.
Marshall, before you go on, because I don't know if I'm going to get another chance to talk about Caicedo, so I just want to say, and I think I speak for all of us here, that you know he's got a child on the way. Actually, him and his partner, they've announced they're having a baby girl. So, congrats to him, by the way. Just want to point that out.
All right, big up to Caicedo. Congratulations. That is a big deal. So don't fucking insult him on the streets of London. Let him fucking be. The man's a family man, all right? Especially if he's with his family. Leave him alone. Guys, you freaking... Some of you fans are weirdos. But all right, we continue. Let's talk about Chilwell's future. So, all right, here we got some tweets. Kind of, you know, it's not much to talk about, but there are still some stronger rumors now coming out from the man himself. So let's go ahead and show here what we have. In the event that Chelsea decide to sell Marc Cucurella, the player will consider his options. Chelsea are happy with Cucurella, but with big proposals, everything could be open for Cucurella or Ben Chilwell. So Fabrizio not denying that Ben Chilwell could be on the chopping block as well. And then we have Sammy Mokbel, who is somewhat of a reliable source. Man United are interested in Ben Chilwell. He is among the options that are considered as they look for competition for Luke Shaw. I don't know if it's even competition for Luke Shaw, but someone that can play when Luke Shaw isn't available, which that's also very questionable considering the injury record that Ben Chilwell has right now. But what do you guys think about the United links? Yes? Go, please?
I don't know, man.
You think it's actually going to happen?
Competition, I don't know. They're going to play checkers on the injury bench. Like,
yeah, that's what it seems like.
Is that the competition we're going to have? Because I don't think it's going to be any competition on the pitch. I don't think either of them will be available enough, to be honest. But this would be the most...
We still haven't talked about Desiree, by the way, Ahmed, so you have time to come on.
Getting Mount and Chilwell to United, that would be the funniest thing I think I've seen in many years.
That would be pretty funny.
Like, oh my god. Just that would be brilliant. I don't know if he'd take a backup role, though. That's the only thing. Like, I don't know. To be honest, though, Maresca probably won't even make him a starter, though, as long as he sticks to his principles. Chilwell won't be a starter because he can't invert, he can't play deep as a defensive fullback, so he's kind of the odd man out here. We've just signed Vega, who is perfect for either which role. So I don't know. United might be his best option because we haven't heard anything else from any other club, and would he be willing to take a downgrade in terms of maybe go to a mid-table club? We don't know. So I'd find it funny if he went there, but time will tell, I guess. Yeah.
Curry, any thoughts, or you pretty much agree with Oliver here? I'm gonna take that as a yes. Curry's probably busy. It's all good. But yeah, like it's. I hope he does go. Not that I don't like him as a player. I just think he hasn't served his team, and he's not gonna fit Maresca's system. He's too injury prone now at this point. He's nowhere near the player he used to be. You could say maybe it was Poch, but I don't know. Even under Tuchel last season with Graham Potter, it wasn't convincing for me. So, yeah, I think I'm hoping, but I think Chilwell's time stint at Chelsea could be coming to a end sooner rather than later. But time will tell. Time will tell. We still have a whole another month and a half of transfer window to sort this out and see what's going to happen. But all right, cool. Let's continue on as we're beginning to wrap up. I do want to try to, go through some of these quickly so I can get to watch Copa America and not miss anything. So let's see how quickly we can actually do this. But yeah, guys, Adeyemi rejects Chelsea, apparently. Let me pull up the story so you guys can see what I am on about. And also, where is my thing? I just lost it. I thought I had it. Here it is. That was weird. Okay, anyways. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to this story first. We have Fabrizio Romano basically saying what Chris was alluding to earlier. The full focus of Chelsea remains a right-footed winger for that left side. Then we continue here. Adeyemi pretty much being linked to the club, according to Rudy Galletti. Chelsea are increasing their pressure on Karim Adeyemi. Constant contacts with the entourage of Borussia Dortmund, now the top of Chelsea's list as their main target. Developments expected soon. We continue on. Chelsea are among 4 clubs considering a move to signing Adeyemi. Liverpool, Chelsea, Juve, and AC Milan are the other clubs. Then we have here Chelsea want Karim Adeyemi. They are already in contact with the player and want to persuade him to move. Negotiations between the clubs are planned, but Dortmund demands £25.3 million, which we'll come back to that. Chelsea bosses are trying to convince Adeyemi to move to the UK. Negotiations between Chelsea and Dortmund are planned, who want £25 million according to CFC Bayern. We have here Florian Plettenberg saying Chelsea has Karim Adeyemi on their list. However, there are no concrete talks with the player's side and certainly not with Borussia Dortmund yet. There was merely some informal contact weeks ago. There is also no offer and no agreement at this stage. Everything is in early stages. If Adeyemi would leave Borussia Dortmund, he wants moved to the Premier League, according to Florian Plettenberg. And to be honest with you, this seems like one of those stories that's just like not real news. But who knows? We continue on. Simon Jones saying here, Karim Adeyemi is understood to be unreceptive to the move to Chelsea. He wants Champions League football if he is to leave the Bundesliga side. Guys, £25 million for Adeyemi. Would you even entertain that?
I think the fact that Dortmund aren't trying to absolutely rinse us for this deal, I think that's a red flag. I'm being so real. Like this guy. This is the thing that Chelsea fans do. And they did this with Hakim Ziyech to an extent, where he absolutely destroyed us in that game at Stamford Bridge, and he scored the free kick and all that, and he got some crazy assists. And they're like, oh yes, let's get Ziyech. They saw what this guy did to Enzo when he was left on his own to defend the corner, and in the Dortmund game in the Champions League. And that's all they remember of him, and they think, oh, he's a great player. This guy is not good enough. I'm sorry. I saw a graphic that said Mudryk has more GA than him this season. And this guy plays.
Are you serious?
He does.
And this guy plays in the Champions League. And we saw, and another thing, we all saw what he did in that final. Bottled it. He's not good enough. And I don't even. How old is he, by the way? Because I don't even think he's a young player.
He's like 24.
Young player.
Let me check.
Yeah, please check, because I heard he might be like 25 or something. Like, so there's not even.
He's 22. Fair enough. He's 22.
Oh, okay. Maybe there's room to grow, but again, we've already got a Mudryk, and he's got better output than this guy, and he's in the Champions League. So what are we really doing by looking at this guy? And like I said, you know, Dortmund will try and rip your arm off for any player. So the fact that they're not doing it for this guy might say something as to their confidence of being able to do that. So. I'm staying well clear of this.
But I didn't think about it like that. But
I'm kind of joking when I say that, but he's not good enough.
You're not wrong though. That's the thing. He's not wrong.
We already have a player like we have moved. Adeyemi is all pace. His first touch is just okay on and on. That's more. Why are we spending more money on another mode? No, let's just develop mode. Whoever paid the money for him, we already spent 60 million on him. Let's just develop him and not waste more money on another squad player like this. So
you think he'd be a squad player?
Yeah, and it's another left footer. He has less output than Mode. Sterling has more output than Mode. He would be like third in line.
That's fair.
We don't need another left footer. The whole report is like a left winger with a right foot. He's a left-footed left winger.
Do any of you guys think it's actually a real link too?
No. I think
it didn't seem like a real link.
I think Jordan's just trying to sell him off and put a
Mhm.
bunch of clubs in.
Yeah, I could see that. But yeah, like I don't know if Adeyemi is the guy I would go for. He had a decent Champions League run, but he did bottle it, like I said, like Oliver mentioned, which happens, right? Like I'm not gonna, hold that against him, But at the end of the day, like, has he really shown me much in last season to convince me that, yeah, we should definitely go for this guy? Not really. So I agree with you guys. I don't think he's the guy. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Oliver, shame on you for writing underneath your name. Shame on you for believing, Will. All right. Shame on you for saying it's coming home. All right, Will. You should have known.
Hey, listen,
You
you're
got
acting
Southgate as
like
your manager.
Will, you're acting like I wanted England to lose. But hey, if you don't laugh, you cry. So I'm gonna laugh.
There you go. Damn. Cold. Like this next player I know nothing about is. I don't know. All right. Last two topics. Before we get to the final two topics, ladies and gents, like I said, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. We are on our way to 3K. We're very close to 3K. So help us out. We're only 200 subscribers away, or a little less than 200. And also like, because you guys have been killing it with the likes, by the way. I've noticed not too many people have showed up today. Obviously, there's a lot of football, a lot of other streams to watch with Euros and all that. But those of you who have come, you've liked the videos. So big up to you guys. I appreciate that. It helps out tremendously. We're already over 50 likes. Some of you guys know how to wipe your feet at the door before you come into someone's home. So thank you for that. Let's keep smashing up the likes if you haven't done so already. But the next topic I wanted to bring up with you guys was the topic of this guy that I'm sure you guys can tell me more about him, because I really don't know much about him at all. But apparently it looks like this is potentially going to happen. But we're going to find out together, because I'm going to read these tweets as well. Desiree Doué to Chelsea, potentially our next target. And I feel like some people are excited about this one. But let's... and Ahmed would know best. He's just not here. He never came back. But Ahmed is a Ren fan, so he would know best about this player. We could probably ask him next time. But anyways, Desiree Doué keeps all options open for his future. Decision will be made in the next days. Paris Saint-Germain are expected to enter the race with formal proposal. Bayern had first bid rejected, but planning to approach Rennes again. No formal bids from Premier League yet. Then we have here, Chelsea are also said to be in the race for Desiree Doué, according to L'Equipe. Then L'Equipe also reported Chelsea are interested in Desiree Doué. Rennes want £50 million for this player. So that's an expensive amount of money for this player who, if any of you guys know, please let me know his age. I think he's young. He looks like he's really young, at least. It's really quiet for Premier League clubs on Desiree Doué. Bayern and PSG are pushing hard, according to Fabrizio. 4 clubs would appear to be most advanced in the quest for Desiree Doué. Rennes would hope for £50.4 million, bonuses included. And that's Bayern, PSG, Chelsea, and Tottenham, according to L'Equipe. Oops.
Desiree Doué is 19 years old.
Wow.
Yep.
Very young. Holy crap. And he plays the left wing, apparently. Well, he's versatile, but he's mostly played the left wing based on what I saw. Chelsea have joined Arsenal in the race to sign Desiree Doué, 19-year-old, after Bayern Munich saw an opening offer of 35 million euros rejected by Rennes. And then we have here the final tweet from L'Equipe again. Chelsea and Tottenham Hotspur are 2 of the 4 teams leading the race to sign Stade Rennais midfielder Desiree Doué, who is valued at 60 million euros by Rennes. Okay, so this just said midfielder. Is he a midfielder? He's a left wing? He's a left cam? What is he, man?
Sometimes you do see wingers getting called midfielders, as in like wide midfield. Sometimes that might be the confusion here.
Sending me mixed signals here, guys. Jesus.
No, he started off as an 8, an
okay.
8/10 in the beginning of the season. And then the second half of the season is when he got pushed to the left wing. So it's kind of his first time really playing that position in, you could say, like higher level professional football. It's just because he's very good at dribbling. You could think of it like kind of like a Musiala situation, right? Like Musiala can play the 10, kind of advanced 8, and then for Bayern he also plays like left wing. Same for Germany. It's similar to that, where he's very good with his feet, trickster and all that stuff. Similar kind of profile, and he can hit a shot. It's just 50 million. I feel like a bit too much. I know it's including add-ons. Like if we can do like a 40 plus 10, or like I don't know, like a 35 plus Caicedo or something like that, then it makes more sense to me. But
Yeah, this is a bit unreasonable.
well, yeah, that's what the club sounds like. It's like Caicedo.
No,
I was gonna say Diego Moreira, but as a left wing replacement, but he's so shit that no one's gonna take him. So
God damn.
like he's not even doing well in the field 2 squad. Like like Washington has more of a chance. Like maybe if we get Washington, because like Washington can play left wing and striker. So I don't know, give a Washington and 40 million or something.
Caicedo is a coin now. But yeah, I mean, Oliver, what are your thoughts on this player? Do you know about this player? I genuinely, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I do not know anything about this player.
I'm in the same boat, really. I need Ahmed to come and help us over here, but
yeah,
all I can really say about the situation is that Spurs will not be a factor because they already have that left winger, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm seeing all these links like Arsenal, Tottenham, Bayern, PSG, and I'm like, what do I believe? There's so many links out there. So
well, you see, Tottenham made the great deal to loan back Timo Werner, so that's their left wing.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
You know?
Yeah, you can hold that.
So
hold that, Jacob.
Just where every time.
And he'll admit, I'm sure, that they're just a very cheap club at the moment.
No, he's shameless. Jacob, if you're watching this right now, you are a shameless Spurs fan. You'll back any player that wears that goddamn outfit. I swear. You think Richarlison's one of the best strikers in the world right now because he plays for Spurs. Once he leaves Spurs, I want to hear you chat shit just so I can acknowledge that you at least have decent ball knowledge. Bro, right now, ball knowledge with Richarlison.
Bang average!
So let's get it together, Jacob. I respect you as a person. Don't make me have to listen to Richarlison prop. Okay? God damn, Richarlison's such a bad player.
As I was saying, though, the competition aspect shouldn't be a problem because, as I'm sure most Spurs fans will admit, their club aren't really in it to be spending too much money right now. Otherwise, they wouldn't have resorted to loaning back a player that underwhelmed. So, competition-wise, we should have a free run at him unless Bayern come back. But the thing is, Bayern are getting players anyway. They've still got Tell in the squad and players like that. So. I'd say their wings are probably stacked at the moment, so would there really be much room for this guy to go there? I'm not too sure at the moment, so we might have a free run at him, but then it just depends at that point. What are Rennes saying about how lenient they're going to be on the fee, and that's just something that remains to be seen. Ahmed might know a bit more, but until I hear from him, I don't know too much.
Yeah, well, we're going to have to get his opinion on it next time. Go ahead.
The problem is like PSG as well, right? Like they're there for the taking, and I think it's reports are PSG and Bayern are favorites right now. They're the ones really pushing, and it's like you could Bayern doesn't. There's not much options, but like they could think of Tell as still their backup striker for Harry Kane, and then they have a left wing spot open basically because they want to get rid of Coleman and Gnabry because they're both injury prone and not performing well. So they're trying to get rid of those players and those wages anyways. So. There's an opening there, especially. Like, you can have, like, because Doué and Elise are playing together in the Olympic squad right now. Like, they're starting together. So that's all going to be some built-in chemistry when Elise is in Bayern. And then you have, I have my friend Doué there, too. And, like, imagine a playmaking three of Doué, Elise, and Musiala. Like, that's a very fluid playmaking front, like, three midfield, like, attacking group.
Yeah.
And that's the problem, right? And then PSG, they want to get everyone that's French in the French league. Fair enough, not wrong, right? They did that with Barcola and some others. Yeah, that's the thing. And, there's this weird merry-go-round going along with the Marzio where, like, Colomwani's going to go to Atletico and, like, Osimhen's going to go to PSG, and that's going to be, like, triggering a lot of different moves. But the problem here's the thing. If we didn't have competition with a PSG or a Bayern, we could run these guys down for a lower price, but we can't because the French league, especially 8 clubs, actually I would say 60% of clubs are in financial turmoil. Like they're broke as shit because of the TV deal. So they need the money. So this is the time to lowball them because they're just desperate for money.
I think Rennes
that's the thing.
From what I read.
Yeah, but they're safe for now. But
Marshall, do you remember the list that you showed?
Yeah, but
when
I
you
think
started
Ren
about
was
the
on
second?
that list. I think
think
Stat
Ren
Ren
was
was
on
on
that
that
list.
list.
I think you're
Yeah.
confusing.
That got
wasn't that
fucked.
Reeves or something, or however you spell it. I think it's a club that's spelled kind of similarly, but it's not.
Damn it! I can't remember the list. I don't know if I'll be able
I
to
had a
find
feeling
it.
if Rens were on there because I was looking out for it in case like I could just like ask Ahmed
I feel
about
like it was because I remember saying like Ahmed, your club's in trouble or something like that. I don't remember.
Oh, well,
Maybe
what-
someone
whatever-
remembers in
let
the
me try to
chat.
see if I can go.
Yeah, but like now that you mentioned that he's in the Olympic squad, I might be able to catch a game or two whenever France play, and I can take a gander at how he plays and how he suits the team. But yeah, I mean it's gonna be interesting to see what happens to this player. Again, I don't know much about him. I think I'm gonna do my due diligence and do a little bit more research for the next stream, so I can at least see if this guy impresses me. But then, yeah, we'll go from there. While Curry Pirate is looking for that list, let's actually head on over to our final topic before Copa America actually starts. Which, big up to everyone watching Copa America. We will be rating Staffy TV, who is doing a Copa America watch-along. So go ahead and chill over there and enjoy the Copa America with Staffy TV. But... final topic of tonight's show, which we wrapped up pretty quick because I want to watch Copa America, is the Kepa bid has been rejected. There was a bid for Kepa. Also, apparently kickoff is in 30 minutes. Wait, I thought kickoff was at 8. So it's 8:30. Okay, good to know. Didn't know,
All right.
but it is okay. It's all good. Anyways.
It's because Shakira's performing.
Oh, and I want to watch Shakira, so we got to end the stream now. Anyways, Kepa bid was rejected. So let me actually pull this up right now. Guys, I've lost concentration because. Oh fuck! I closed out the tab by accident. No, I closed out the whole window. The show's ruined now. Fucking Shakira, bro.
Okay, we can talk about it.
Wait. But did you find out? Did you find the tweet?
I can't find it.
Okay, it's all good. I got it up here. I'm gonna not the tweet, but I'm gonna cook on Kepa. Okay, so Kepa, yeah, he's a goalkeeper that that got sent out to loan to Real Madrid. And there was a bid for him from the Saudis that we rejected apparently. But let's get into it. So according to the byline, real quick on another side topic of goalkeepers, right? Chelsea have reached out to Marshalldbdx and other goalkeepers, but they can't move because of one of Sanchez or Petrovic needs to go. And I'm sure Kepa is one of those goalkeepers that also need to go that weren't actually mentioned. Bulka's the guy that you guys mentioned was part of the academy.
Ball playing. Who used to be part of it. Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into the Kepa aspect of this story, right? So, sources close to Kepa Arrizabalaga confirmed that he is training separately with Chelsea's first team stars after reporting for the start of the preseason at Cobham. So, very much getting the same treatment he got last season with separate training that we did with Lukaku, Ziyech, and all these other ones.
He didn't get this treatment last season.
Oh, he didn't.
Because he played the preseason games under Poch.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you for
So this is like the
correcting
Lukaku and Ziyech sort of stuff.
Yeah, which I think is
because he's on his final year of contract.
Yeah. I think it's necessary that we do that. So good on the team for doing that. Good on Maresca for identifying that as well. Let's continue. So Kepa Arrizabalaga could still be an option for Real Madrid despite having said his goodbyes. But it's complicated. Chelsea are keen to find a new destination for him. Lunen's extension is now up in the air. Lunin was kind of the one that was, preventing Kepa from even getting game time. He got benched by the fucking bench keeper. So, hey, listen, but we don't want to have conversations on Kepa and how bad he is. But let's just continue. So, apparently, according to David Ornstein, and I don't know why this tweet is so early on here, but it's okay. Chelsea turned down initial bid for Kepa Arrizabalaga from Al Ittihad. CFC talks continue with Al Ittihad. Other clubs ahead of anticipated permanent exit for 29-year-old goalkeeper this summer following Real Madrid FC loan last season. So, let's talk about how this even happened to begin with. Breaking, according to La Marca, Chelsea goalkeeper Kepa Arrizabalaga, who has 1 year remaining on his contract, has also received a substantial offer from Saudi Arabia's Al Ittihad. Really wonder what this substantial offer is and why it's hashtag. one that's hard to refuse. He has requested more time before making a decision. Then we have more here. Chelsea are willing to facilitate Kepa's departure, who is required to return to Chelsea in the next few days. The plan is to consider some proposals, but without rushing, Kepa would be happy to return to Madrid. But this still seems like a distant option. And we have here, Kepa Bid will leave Chelsea this summer. Al Ittihad considered Kepa as option. He could return to Real Madrid if Lunin leaves. So that's according to Fabrizio Romano. So that's good to hear that if Lunin doesn't extend or the contract situation with Real Madrid and Lunin doesn't work out, we could potentially see Kepa go to Real Madrid. Pardon me. Kepa Arrizabalaga is in talks over potential move to Saudi Pro League side Al Ittihad. And then lastly here we have negotiations between Chelsea and Al Ittihad club for Kepa Arrizabalaga are progressing very slowly. The keeper has not yet fully opened himself to destiny. The contacts will continue, according to Matt Moretto. Saudi, please take Kepa. We don't need to suffer anymore with this goalkeeper, who is not even better than Sanchez. Please. I really hope this works out. I wonder why Chelsea rejected it in the first place. Like, it must have been like a low ball bid or something. Because even Saudi recognizes that they don't want to overpay for this player. But, I don't know, guys. What are your thoughts?
Sorry, you go first. I need a minute.
Oh, okay. Okay, I was wondering. Get him gone. Sure, I get it. It's the first bid. People usually reject the first bid, right? Because, you gotta negotiate and shit. Like, if we can get a couple more million for him, go ahead. But, like, please, guys, please don't make them run away, because there's odds on that Lunin's probably gonna stay in Real Madrid. That's what it's looking like. So the only escape route we have besides the Saudis is slowly drifting away. So please, Chelsea, get the little bit of extra millions we can. And fuck off, Kepa. Fuck right off. Because we need to. Because besides you, we have another Spanish goalkeeper that we signed for 7 years. Now 6 years that we need to fuck right off too. So we have 2 Spanish goalkeepers that need to fuck right off from our club. So both of you hopefully can. Maybe we can do a package deal. Maybe that's why we denied them. We can give them Sanchez and Kepa for like 15 million or some shit. I don't know, man. Get these frauds out of my club.
I don't think Sanchez is leaving. I think he just that's just you projecting, my friend.
Can I project that he does dog shit against Wrexham and Pseudo America, like all these clubs? So then we can get a goalkeeper, please, I beg.
That is kind of the hope, that he does flop and Maresca sees the light. But yeah, I mean, Oliver, do you have an opinion on this Kepa situation in Saudi?
I mean, again, I'd be very interested to find out the reason why we rejected, because we shouldn't be rejected.
Yeah, I am really curious about that.
As far as I'm concerned, we can literally take like a chocolate bar for this guy, and that would be good enough. Like, get him gone. Like, for so many years we've been trying to do this. Like, this guy, like, and I keep forgetting whenever I have to battle like the apologists for the old regime.
Battle. Like, you sound like you're going to war with these guys. Like, every day is another day that I count my lives and my blessings.
It honestly feels like a battle. I have to hear the same tired narrative every day.
I get that.
We need to sign names. We need to go back to how we do things on the Roman. This guy is the cherry on top of the shit Sunday that was the transfer business. One of the worst signings I've ever seen in football. Like, oh my god!
This is true.
You know what I mean? Like, honestly, I don't bash on this guy enough when it comes to, like, when I talk about bad transfers. I keep forgetting this guy for some reason. Yeah, I've had so many bad memories. I don't understand it.
He kind of just comes with the building,
I think it's because he's a goalkeeper.
Been here for so long.
I think it's because he's a goalkeeper. I forget about him, but like, yeah, get him gone as soon as possible. I'm glad he's not with the first team. I'm glad we've gone away from that horrible culture that we had up until Tuchel was sacked, where your Batshuayis and your Kennedys and your Bakayokos and Ross Barkley they would all
Yeah.
take the minutes in the preseason and not the younger players that you actually want to include in your team and whatnot.
Mhm.
So this is definitely a step in the right direction. I'd be interested to hear why we rejected the first offer, because we should be taking anything for the guy. But
Yeah.
as long as he's gone by the end, that's all that matters.
Yeah, and I agree. I really, like I said again, and Oliver said it, and all of us here said it. I'm really, really freaking curious as to why the bid was rejected. I'm going to assume that we were lowballed, and that's probably why. But other than that, I don't see why we need to. Like, this is our opportunity to get this guy off the books, and we really need to get this guy off the books. So I think whatever bid comes in, just make it work, please, Blueco. Like, you need to do this because it's a player that we can't spend another loan, because knowing Real Madrid, they're probably going to want to do another loan. He's got 1 year left, and he walks out on the free, and we don't want to do that. So in order to prevent that, please, like,
even if he has to
make
go on
it
a
happen.
free, we should obviously try and get a fee for him. But if he has to go on a free, then just let it happen. It's worth it.
Mhm.
Don't do
Yeah.
what the old regime did and put him on a 1 year contract to try and retain
Oh my
value.
God! Imagine! I forgot
Yeah,
we used to do that. Jesus Christ!
Don't do that, please. Just let him go for free. Let his wages go with him, and then we're good.
Yeah, I agree. But that being said, little bonus section here. Curry Pirate, I need your opinion. Yesterday, Canada played against Uruguay for third place, and Curry Pirate, being a Canadian, I'm sure is. Are you proud of your team? Honestly, I don't know if anyone saw the game outside of me and Curry, but Canada should have won that game. It's such a damn shame they didn't actually win the game, because they were the better side. They were more impressive. I kept telling people, nothing about Uruguay is impressing me. They haven't shown me much of anything to really show me like, oh yeah, these guys are fucking good. It doesn't look like Bielsa ball. It doesn't look anything like Leeds United under Bielsa. It looks I don't know. Maybe they just haven't been together long enough, but it doesn't look convincing. So, I mean, Curry, if you're there, I would like to hear your thoughts on, your nation going as far as they did, man.
I think I'm happy with Jesse Marsh right now. The way they're playing is pretty good. I think we had the better chances against Argentina the second time we played them. And that's the problem with us. We've been having the better chances for a majority of games, besides, I would say, the first Argentina game. It's just, we are shit at putting the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah.
Jonathan David is...
though.
Yeah. Jonathan David is decent. Like, he's fine. But also, you're playing him in the 10 and not the 9. You're playing Kyle Larin there, so I don't know why the fuck we're doing that. Because he's probably the best finisher we have with Alphonso Davies, who you're leaving at left back. Which I would be fine with if we had better winger talent, but we don't. Right now, it's shit. Especially because Buchanan, who plays in Inter Milan on the bench, was injured for this tournament. So I would have just gone gung-ho and had Alphonso Davies up top with Jonathan David as my front two, right? Because I can clearly see that the tactics are correct. It's just the player pool and talent isn't there.
Yeah.
And he has been speaking vocally about doing that with regards to like young players playing more in our local league. In that way to develop, he's like, we have like the Canadian Football League. He's like, I want kids to start as early as 17. Like, there should be a cap where like each team should have like 3 players that are like between the ages of 17 and 19 playing games regularly. That way to develop the talent pool. So he has an idea for the long term as well, which is great. So I'm happy with the manager we have, and just need to improve the player pool, but still a decent one for like a country where before last World Cup, we hadn't been in a World Cup for 30 plus years, right? So,
yeah.
And it's not our main sport. So I'm seeing good progress in terms of the state of football in our country. So happy with that. Hope it continues.
Dude, it looks great. And like you said, I think you hit the nail on the head. Tactics wise, it looks good. But I kept saying this to people. If Canada had 2 or 3 more players of the caliber of Jonathan David or Alphonso Davies, you guys probably would have easily have gotten third or even beaten Argentina in that game that you lost. But it's so unfortunate because the finishing's not there. I do like Jonathan David as a 10. He did look pretty good as the 10 at times, but it's a little clumsiness from him where he loses the ball sometimes and dumb. Like the quality's not entirely there. But you did mention Buchanan being missing. I think that was a big part, dude. That number 14 for you guys, Schafferhofer or Schlotterbeck or whatever his name is.
Yeah, that was okay.
He is god awful. He is god awful. Like
he's pacey, but his first touches, my god, it's like imagine Mudrik's kind of pace, but Lukaku's first touch. Like the worst combination I could ask for.
So Mudrik.
No.
Oh my god! Damn. God damn, Oliver. You are ruthless tonight, Oliver.
No need to mention Lukaku there, mate.
So Mudryk, oh my god. No, that guy is so like okay.
Bad, yeah.
1 out of 10, he gets a good play, right, or like a good cross or something. But my god, so many times he's either losing the ball or the touch is terrible. Oh my god, like if you guys had just a tiny bit better winger on that side.
There. I think Buchanan would be playing there. So that's
if you
the
had
thing.
Buchanan,
That's my hope.
I think it would have been so much better. You had a good team. Yeah. You have a good team. And, like, even the subs, I was so impressed. Jesse Marsh's subs were actually effective. Like, he brought in, who was the defender? The number 3, the one with the dreads? I think it's number 3. The one that he brought in last night against Uruguay. Oh, my God. Not Bombito. Cornelius? Is that his name?
Yes, if I remember correctly, yeah.
Cornelius. See, like, dude, I'm a bigger fan of Canada and Curry Pirates. I'm just calling him out right now. He doesn't even remember.
Yeah, Derek Cornelius. Yeah, it's 13. It's 13. Yeah.
But, like, dude, the fact that, like, Jesse Marsh brought him in, and at the time he brought him in, he almost, like, counteracted Bielsa's tactics, and he was fresh legs in the center back and did phenomenal blocks in front of goal. Potential goal making blocks, like, you know what I'm trying to say. It was just crucial blocks. So it's like, dude, even the subs are working out for him, but just that one moment of lack of concentration, and Canada lost it. And it's so unfortunate because if they had put away more of their goals, we would have been talking about third place Canada, or even like Canada in the final against Colombia, because I think they were at times better than Argentina and could have exposed Argentina, because Argentina was making a lot of mistakes that game. But, I'm impressed with Canada. I wish I could say the same about my country. My country's only progress is that they finally fired Greg Berhalter.
Well, you guys have the talent. You have a better talent pool than us, but it once again points to how important a manager is, right? Even in international football.
Yeah, and it annoys me. It annoys me, too, because of the way we're run. We could have had a Jesse Marsh, and Jesse Marsh even came out in press conferences saying, I want nothing to do with that federation until they fix up. So I'm not even worried about USA or anything. I hope the best for them. Yeah, no, he came out and literally said, like, I have no interest in work until things change. I have no interest in working with the U.S. Federation.
I mean, listen, fair play to him.
He fucked them over during their interview process.
I'll say this, fair play to him for saying that, because he's probably got the standing in the game to do that. Like, he's managed at Leipzig, I believe, and he was a Premier League manager. He did the most he could with a terrible lead squad. He is a decent manager, and at the international level, which doesn't have as good of a manager talent pool, he'd probably be one of the top managers. So, he probably has the weight to say that sort of stuff about the United States Federation and stuff.
Yeah, no, and honestly, considering what he did with Canada, like, now even more so than before, like, bro, now he can talk, because he took Canada much further than the U.S. even had a shot of making it. And no one anticipated Canada to make it this far, by the way. No one did. I don't think even Curry Pirate expected it.
No, hell no.
So, like, for them to make it this far is so impressive, and it just looks really bad on because he's an American manager, he's an American coach, it makes it look even worse on the American Federation. So, kudos.
It just makes me glad in terms of prospects for the World Cup, like, because it's going to be in Canada, America, and Mexico, right? Like, games are being played in Vancouver, and so, like, I'm excited about that in general. And it looks like we are in a good base to be ready for that World Cup. Obviously, it's not like we're going to do much, but like, last time we got destroyed. Like we didn't win a single group stage. If we can get out of the group stage, that would still be big for us.
You guys
once
had a
again,
tough group.
hasn't happened
You
for
guys-
us for 30 years.
Yeah, your group was really tough, though, to be fair. I think you had, what, Portugal, Morocco, who else did you have? I forgot what the third team was, or fourth team was.
Honestly, I wiped it out of my head because I was so excited and I was about to score it every time. I'm like,
Yeah, but no, I think I'm excited to see what Canada does in the future, and I'm not even Canadian. It's just I can't be excited for the U.S. right now, or Peru for that fact. So the less we talk about Peru, the better. But all right, I mean that's the show, ladies and gents. I get to go see Shakira dance, and I get to fucking watch Copa America, the finals today. Who do you guys got winning the final? Curry?
I want Colombia to win because I don't want Messi Ballon d'Or props again. But then I forget that there's
Jesus.
but then there's Enzo Fernandez, so I want the Chelsea trend to continue for today. So I'm kind of divided. But my hate for Messi winning the Ballon d'Or is more than my love for Enzo right now. So Colombia winning. Come on, let's go.
Listen, I'm just convinced by the football. I think Colombia is going to win it. It's going to be a tough match, though. Oliver, do you have any dog in this fight or any predictions in this fight?
I don't have a dog in the fight, but in terms of a prediction, I'd probably say Argentina. I'd be more interested in seeing Colombia win, though, but I think the boring result is the one that's going to prevail.
Fair enough. So, guys, we hit 60 likes, which is awesome considering we didn't have too many people viewing to the show today. But big up to you guys that showed up and wiped your feet at the door and did all that fun stuff that, you need to do. But if you haven't done so already, get us over the threshold of 60 likes. Go ahead and smash the likes. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe if you're new. Like I said, we are on our way to 3K. We're less than 200 subscribers away, so help us achieve that goal. There will not be a stream on Wednesday because I have work commitments. So Wednesday we will skip. Not that there's much news to talk about anyways. I was kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel this week. It's been a little slow. Now that the Euros is finished, we might get some more news. We might get more excitement going into towards preseason. So let's see what happens. But smash up the likes. Check us out again on Sunday. If there is a stream, I will let you know ahead of time. Be sure to also leave a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts on everything that we discussed. Check out the links in the description for more content, including my band's music, which we just released a brand new song 2 weeks ago. So if you want to check it out and let me know your thoughts, by all means, it's right there for you guys. And also, shout out to our members because, like I said, there's 4 different tiers starting at 99p. But if you subscribe to the proper casual tier and higher, you guys get a shout out at the end of every show, and that's gonna go to Uncle Jester FC, Will, Dark, Adrian, A. Soliman, and Scott. Big up to you guys. Thank you so much for your support, and as always, guys, thank you to everyone else who's also a member. But yeah, be on the lookout, guys. We will be back to streaming. I think Sunday. I'm pretty sure Sunday. Wednesday I can't, but if something comes up big that means I gotta stream, then I gotta stream. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy the Copa America final. I'm gonna go enjoy that. Go over to Staffy TV, which I'm rating. Be sure to copy and paste that raid message so he knows where you're coming from. We're going to be doing, or not we, I'll be there for a little bit, but he's going to be doing a Copa America watch along. So go ahead and enjoy the content over there. He's got Jacob over there as well as other people, probably like Griggs and Will. So it's going to be a fun watch along. Go and show some love and support by heading on over there, copying and pasting that message. But guys, as always, have a wonderful night. Stay casual. Peace.